All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Happy Tuesday. Did you guys hang out with us earlier over on David or Inky or John's stream? Stormy! Hi, Stormy. Hi, Bologna. Thank you for the good knees. Your knees? What's going on? Good knees. Good knees. Pure magic. I cast good. Oh, honestly, that's a good one. Everybody has good knees always. Kaiser! Hi, Wicked Cosmos. How are you? Hi, Aiden. I ended up in a more comfortable spot. Good. Good. May your pillow continue to be cold and your dreams be beautiful, Aiden. Hi, Thick. Welcome in, welcome in. Hi, Kiwi. Did I tell you I changed my username? You did. Yeah, you told me yesterday. You told me yesterday. Jern. Hi, Jern. How are you, kitty? Hi, hi, hi. What are dreams? Sweet dreams are made of these. Who am I to disagree? Travel the world in the 7 seas. Everybody's looking for something. That's what they are. That's what dreams are. There we go. Hopefully that answers your question, Aiden. Let's go ahead and let's switch on over. Oh my god. I had... Oh, those of you who are on YouTube, give me a second. My apologies. I actually had... my son... Excuse me, Aiden. Just gonna lean in and do a copy done. That's crazy. Gracie! Hi, cutie. How are you? It's been a hot minute. How are you? How's your night? Hopefully doing good. Have you guys... Okay, did you guys join us earlier today when we were playing with David and Inky and John? Hi, Ryuk! We ended up talking about... So those of you who were in the stream, you guys know all about the drama about Love in Deep Space and the whole thing with Valko. Ugh. I'm still like, I'm still upset. I'm still so upset about our good doggy boy, our good puppers, and like no longer coming out. Drama. Okay, so long story short, for those of you who have not been chronically online in the last couple days, hours, I guess. It's July 1st. Almost for me. It's another 2.5 hours for me. But basically what ended up happening with Love in Deep Space, okay, is long story short, a lot of the Eastern community did not really like oh my god, I knew I heard something. Did you guys hear that? Did you guys hear that explosion? You guys heard that, right? Oh, is that... Yeah, I'm gonna do a quick BRB. I'm gonna check on some stuff and I'll be right back. Okay. Nothing's on fire this time. Nothing's on fire this time. So our neighbors, where I live, fireworks are illegal because we live in such a dry climate, a dry area, that the this time, yeah. Let me preface that saying that where I live, fireworks are completely illegal unless you're like an official whatever, and there's been precautions, but that doesn't stop people from purchasing them and setting them off in the neighborhood, of course. It doesn't stop people. So what our neighbors do is, I didn't hear any. So because it is so close to 4th of July, thank you for the hugs. Because it's so close to 4th of July, which is this Saturday, that's why I'm not streaming this weekend. The neighbors like to get fireworks and set them off. So I'm basically gonna hear fireworks, like a lot of fireworks for the next like month or two, because they buy so much that they end up having fireworks throughout the year. Throughout the entire year they have fireworks. One year they let off fireworks in the alley between our house and the house behind us, and they set fire to the telephone pole, and because of that, the week before too, yeah, so they're gonna basically set them off not just this week, Fend, but next week, next month, in December. The neighbors buy so many that they end up having an excessive amount, to the point that they basically have them for the rest of the year until next July, where they get more and then they do it again. But like I said, they have in the past set fireworks in the alleyway and set fire to the back of our fence, as well as the telephone pole that's back there that connects the phone lines to our house, the house behind us, and a couple of other houses. So that had to be replaced. So about a week we didn't have internet because of them doing this. So it's been disturbingly silent so far. Not used to it so close to the 4th. Be back later. I need to go be back. Okay, Storm. Hi, Kaiser. I'm playing Dark Souls. Sorry. I hope everyone's well. Yeah, we're okay. I just, every time I hear them and they're like that close to my house, I go back and I check. I'm just like, is anything on fire this time? No? Okay. It'll be in the VOD. Search back between 10 minutes and 14 minutes. Yeah. It was very loud, and it was like right behind my house. So anyways, you guys are going to be hearing that probably throughout the night, unfortunately. There's nothing I can really do about that. But what else? We were talking about Love and Deep Space. So a lot of the Eastern community members of Love and Deep Space are very upset about the new character Velko, and it seems like a lot of it stems from how they are releasing the character, as well as lack of story updates. So instead of it'll be an interesting ASMR stream if you do on the 4th. I am not streaming on the 4th. No, I will be with family outside, also enjoying fireworks on the actual holiday. But from what I understand, the thing with Velko, not to get super deep into it, the game company got in trouble because the character and his portrayal, people are saying that he looks too Western. They don't like that. They don't like that he's like more submissive type of a character. They don't like that. But also the game itself has been having issues with updates, that they are not updating the main character stories or the characters that they already have. One thing that I read was it's been about 500 days since the last like update on the story. So a lot of people are really upset, and because of that, the gaming company that does Love and Deep Space decided to just no longer release Velko, and that made other people upset. So it's just like, you guys are on a losing hill and everyone's just not having fun right now. I want to be a curmudgeon. You abhor fireworks. I love fireworks, at least. Honestly, I don't mind fireworks. They're very pretty to look at. I love looking at fireworks, but I'm not a big fan of the sound. Obviously, it's just really, really loud. Have a good night, Vox. Have a good night. Been a while. Just got that typo. Hi, Scotty. Welcome in. How are you? Hope you're doing good. But yeah, that's basically where it is with that. Otherwise, that really that kind of just that whole explosion with the fireworks just kind of ruined my mental already. It was already kind of wibbly wobbly. Now I'm just on the lookout for fireworks, and I don't like this feeling. Hi JWoww, welcome in. Hiya Bannon, how are you? I'm doing good. I've gotten used to fireworks again. Took a while after I deployed. You know what? That's so fair, Scotty. That's very fair. I will warn you, we already had somebody, was what you were talking about. Yeah, the fireworks, that explosion that you heard, Kiwi, that was fireworks. I will tell you, Scotty, that there are neighbors where I live that they've already done it within the past how long have I been live? in the first 10 minutes of stream, they released fireworks, so you might hear it again. So if you choose to not stay and hang out, Scotty, I completely understand. If you don't want to hang out with us tonight, having to feel that way. Short stream, probably. I was thinking I still want to do some reading tonight. At least get the new book started. I know we do an hour of chatting, and so what I want to do, just to kind of put myself back into a good mental state, I think we're gonna watch some really cute videos of dogs or something. Just something cute. Oh, I need something cute right now. Let me see. I need a cute video. I need a video that's all cutie. Here we go. How about ice cream cake? You guys want to watch some ice cream cake cooking with me? Let's watch some ice cream cooking. Ice cream cake. They're gonna make ice cream cake. I like ice cream cake. Let's watch ice cream cake. Michael. All right, Michael, thank you so much for the 10 gifted subs. Thank you, Michael, for gifting a sub over to, let's see, to Tav, Quadro, Ghost PBG, Project 80s, Ariel, Apex Gaming, Gay Cheetah Puff, James, Lightmat, and Velveteen Cupcake, which I still love their name. Thank you so much, Michael. Thank you. We need some gold cherry. It does. What outfit do you want me to wear, Michael? Because you did 10 gifted subs. What outfit would you like? Do you want the white shirt, or do you want the dress I had on last night? Ice cream cake. Yeah, ice cream cake. I love ice cream cake. I've been banned. No, you have not been banned, Scotty. I would never. Not for that. Thank you, Michael. My neighbors during the festive seasons, Christmas, New Year's, Lunar. Just a firework. Late ass at yeah, but demon hours, ours too. So my home security because of the shockwaves rattling the sensors. Need to sleep and rest for our jobs. Dang it, sorry. No. Honestly, I think after 10 p.m. that should just be a universal everyone shut the fuck up, I'm sleeping time. You know what I mean? Legit someone from depression because some goddamn Chad gave me a sub. Right. How dare they? How very freaking dare they? I'm just kidding. Thank you so much again, Michael. Enjoy this emotes. If you guys got a sub, make sure to thank Michael and enjoy this emotes. Hi Elfin, welcome in. Yummy. Right? Yum. Here, we'll start the cake video. Actually, can we mix it up and do the Cyberfox? You want the Cyberfox? Yeah, I can do that. The video will be my, what's it called? What's the word? My modesty screen. If I bring this over here. There we go. Okay, there we go. Cyber Fox today. There you go, Michael. Dum dum dum. Right? Yeah, so cute. It's okay if those other ones are the only option. No, you can pick anything. Anything from the outfits list. If you do exclamation point outfits, you can get a list of all. You know what? Honestly, I'm going to have to make this little video a bit smaller only because it looks like I'm not wearing anything and Twitch won't like that. There we go. And then what I can do is I'll just make myself a bit smaller so I could be like, no, look, I'm totally wearing clothes. I swear I am dressed. 100% I have clothes on. I want some no-bake chilled Oreo cheesecake. Oh, that sounds so good. Making me hungry. Let's keep watching. Exactly. That Cyberfox doesn't get used. So I want to see it in the spotlight. It's true. We haven't. Well, the thing is also we haven't had anybody do 10 gifted subs lately. And so that's really the only time that people get to pick the Cyberfox outfit. But also we haven't had a stream where it felt appropriate to use the outfit. You know what I mean? So, hi Phil, hi Aiden, thank you for the kiss. Practically have them memorized after both fashion shows. Well, we have a list of them, so you do exclamation point outfits and get the list that way. It's where the video is my choice. I swear the video is my outfit, 100%. 100%. Oh god damn it, I could still hear them setting off fireworks. That's like the fourth one. I don't know if you guys hear it, but I do. Okay. We're fine. It's fine. I'll just raise my music so I don't hear them. Oh, hope you're doing good. I'm doing okay. What about you, Phil? I'm doing good. It's funny when they have a close-up on the apron and it looks like it's yours. It is mine. I'm totally wearing an apron. Can't you guys tell? I'm actually really excited. The other night, me and Inky sat and called together and we set out and we planned what the 2.0 apron is going to look like. It's going to have a big bow in the back. I think you guys will really like what we've come up with. It's so cute. So heckin' cute. I'm excited for it. I'm so excited to like do my birthday event and get the 2.0 art all paid for so that we can actually like get the model in the works. So close to it. You guys can't hear I actually have my own music playing right now. You guys can't hear it. But I've been listening to Saborami for like all day. I'm excited. I'm extremely excited for that to happen. Me too. And I talked to the rigger and they gave me a price for it as well. And I talked to the artist and they told me the price. So what we have on the throne, which is the 3,500, not 1,000, 3,500. That's the price of the artwork with 3 outfits, 3 expressions, and the monster form, as well as the rigging. Hi, Men's Form. How are you? Welcome in. I actually can close that. I don't need that. Dun, dun, dun. There was something I was thinking of right now, and I was like, oh, I should probably do that. Oh, right. I need to add to the outfits redeem. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. We got a new one yesterday, which is coffee date. Dun, dun. And there we go. And they should all be saved. Perfect. There we go. Ice cream! Dude, I love ice cream. I mean, what? 1 second, a salad kidney. Is he baking a cake? He's making an ice cream cake. Do you guys like ice cream cake? I actually really do like an ice cream cake. I mean, what's not to like, right? It's ice cream and cake all together. Real talk, I low-key wish I made enough to just front stuff like that. Honestly, you're so fair. That's why, like, every month I've been putting in my own amount into the funds with the Twitch payout. So every time you guys do bits or subs, it's like if you think about it like this, right? When you guys do bits and subs and the ads and everything that line up during the end of the month, you planning on a baking stream with this video? No, I do not have a kitchen that is ready to even like do a baking stream. But what's it called? The Twitch payout that I get, I use some of that to go into the fund myself. So during the event, whatever we get, that's what we're going to get for that month, and then we'll just pay off the rest as we kind of go along. So it's not like you not being able to do the whole thing right now. Michael hasn't helped. All the times that you've been doing subs, gifted subs, bits, all of that stuff has been contributing to that. I don't think I've had one in a very long time. Honestly, fair. I haven't had an ice cream cake in a long time too. If I can get some stuff added to my disability, I'm gonna be spoiling people with the payback. With the back pay. I was like, payback? What do you mean? I read that wrong. Chocolate ganache. I love a good ganache. I love strawberry ice cream cake. Ooh, honestly, so real. I love a good strawberry ice cream cake too. Strawberry and chocolate, just a great combination in general. This man is making me want to get Oreos, right? I've been wanting like cookies for a while now. I got cookies last week, but we ate them all. We ate them all. We ate the whole thing. So we'll just have to wait another week and then we can get more cookies. But oh my god, Oreo sounds so good right now. So good. I'm still waiting on Mansform to send me the chicky nugget money. Bum, 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 bum. I shall get me an Oreo milkshake at 5. Oh, Oreo milkshake. Just waiting for a payday. So real, so fair. So true. Strawberry and chocolate are good, right? Like strawberry and like a dark chocolate, like really good ripe strawberries where they're super sweet, and then like chocolate, and then they dip the strawberry in the chocolate. Cannot go wrong. I've gone from lurker to full fan with donuts and everything because I stumbled across a fantastic streamer and a wonderful community. I'm happy to support it. I'm glad you've been able to like, because I remember you joining and following, and then like it took a while until you said anything, right? And then you started like joining in on the conversations in the Discord, right? Both Discords, the Patreon Discord as well as my Twitch Discord. So it's been really nice to see you like becoming a part of the community in a very, what's the word, in a very like more open way, if that makes sense. How much for what do you mean, Nanswarm? Oh, I didn't know it. If he said measurements, I'm literally not listening. I'm just watching it and talking to you guys, so I have no idea how much he put in there. Like, he actually looks so good, right? So mean, rubbing it in. They did horchata right now at 1 a.m. horchata. You're so real. Speaking of food, I made some barbecue nachos for dinner today that I posted in Discord if you're curious. Yes, I want to see barbecue nachos. I made, because I didn't end up having anything to eat yesterday after stream, Today we had ramen for dinner, so I made a cheesy curry ramen with vegetables. There was just enough left after everybody else ate for me to make some for me and my dad. So that's what we had for dinner. IRL photos. No, food. Oh, that looks so good. Golden. Yum. What is that, a Rupert float? 12 glass of beer. Oh, it's a beer. The root for it. Oh, it is Rupert float. Okay. I was like, that looks too foamy to be ice cream. I mean, beer. And then Coco with the cat pictures. Cute. Dun, 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 dun. There's layers of different cake. I didn't know that. I think he only did one cake layer, and then he did chocolate with Oreo. So if you look at it, it's chocolate cake right here, and then he did like a chocolate ganache, and then he crushed up some Oreo pieces, and then this is ice cream. I think it's like strawberry. No, I don't think it's strawberry. I think it's something else. It looks like Oreo. I think it's Oreo ice cream. Ice cream cake. Top, wait, okay. Homemade layer of chocolate cake in the bottom. Top with a irresistible band of hot fudge studded with crusted Oreos, thick layer of ice cream. Okay, so he doesn't say what kind of ice cream, but it looks like Oreo to me. And then he used a whipped cream frosting. Looks so good, right? Today is so hot. Is it men's form? How much for the nuggies? Oh. 10? I don't know. How much is nuggies? Mailwraith! Hi, Mailwraith. Welcome in. How are you? It's cookies and cream, I think. We reached the goal already? Oh my god. Thank you so much for the sub goal, guys. Thank you, Mailwraith. Thank you. I will add kisses and stuff like that in just a minute, guys. I want to, I'm still kind of like listening, kinda, to see if there's any more fireworks. I haven't heard anything in the last like 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, so we might be okay, but we'll see. Hi, Sloth! It's cookies and cream, I think. Oh, I thought it was another layer of cake. No, you're good, cool. I'm getting hungry way earlier than usual. I'm sorry. Oh, got it. Sloth, I must run. No, you get back here, Aiden. Get back here. It's reached 90 degrees. I want fall to come as soon as possible. Skip summer and go to the longest fall of history. You're wonderful. Thank you. Hi, James. New outfit? Well, we've actually had this one for a little bit of time. We just never really got to use it. But because Michael did 10 gifted subs, he got to pick the outfit. So he picked the Cyberfox outfit. It's a Genshin Impact trailer. We saw a Siren with the green hair and a playable character. Wait, what? Oh, for the new update? Is that what you're talking about? Let me get the kisses. Sorry, I was just responding to something really quick. Okay, I owe you guys at least 2 so far, right? 2, 3. Mailwraith, Michael did 10. But I mean, I could do 10 kisses, but it's just better to do 1 kiss. Okay, yeah, so Mailwraith and Michael, 2 kisses. Let me go ahead and get those on really quick. Michael will do the green one. Support me. There you go, Michael. And we'll do one for Mailwraith. And we'll do blue for Mailwraith. I'll put it right there. There we go. Oh, it's on my shadow. Ah, whatever. I'm not gonna sit here and worry about that right now. Hi, Mesa. How are you? Welcome in, welcome in. Good evening. Hi. I guess what, Mumu? I passed my... with the 100% on it first try? Oh my god. Congratulations, James. Pachi, pachi. Good job, good job. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. Now that you have your CPR first aid exam or pass? No, not pass. What's the word? Card. Now that you have that, what are you gonna do? Or what is that for, like, job? An update that will happen in a couple weeks. Oh. Correct. And the third me that had a crush on Hako was Frankie from Finding Frankie. Has to choose between principal of the thing, you, and Frankie. If he doesn't pick me, I'm going to be very upset. We're going to watch Tiramisu Cake. That will happen in a couple of weeks. Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. Hi, Misha. How are you? I don't need that many kisses. I'm trying to be less greedy after all. Michael, you can be as greedy as you want. We are human after all. And okay, I don't like that it's like stuck on my shadow. There we go. Perfect. That's where I wanted that. Da-da-dum. Hi, Hobby. Welcome in. How are you? Dietrich! Certification. There we go. That's the word. CPR certification. I have not renewed mine in so long. Michael, you want another one? Thank you so much for gifting a sub over to Dietrich. Dietrich, enjoy those emotes, and as always, welcome to Favorite Cafe. Today might be the greatest day on my island. It was so great. I posted in the Discord in the video game channel. Oh, let me see. Okay. Let's take a look. Oh, that's so cute. I can't read what it says. La 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 with reality defenders as their guide. That is so cute, Spencer. I'm working Subby Lurking. Okay, hopefully work goes well. Now we can say they have a good name and be greedy at the same time. Dietrich has a great name. I like Dietrich. Alright, let me go ahead and add one more. You know what? We'll do a bite this time. Dun dun. Do 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 do. I'll put it on my neck right here. Saborami. There we go. There we go. Perfect. Da-da-dum. Thank you, Michael. I need to research my WFA. Get the recertification. Okay, that took me a minute. Hector and Prototype got married. Oh, that's Hector and Prototype. Residents call me Reality Defender. That's funny. This man grabbed his own cookbook. I mean, he has a cookbook. Yeah, he's probably shilling his cookbook. I mean, he has it in the background. Like, if you go back a couple seconds, it's literally right here, right? Like, it's back here. You guys can see it. Certificate, and yeah, I need for my continuing care assistance course, and I still got shit ton stuff to do, though working on a nursing home is stressful, but I'm hoping it's good exposure to actual nursing. Also planning to start streaming as a VTuber on the side and take the edge off after shift at the nursing home. That is so fair, James, and I'm actually really proud of you, because working in a nursing home is a lot of work. And a lot of people don't have the patience to do it. So I'm so proud of you for doing it and keeping at it and taking it as seriously as you are with getting your certificates and taking other courses and stuff like that to be a better caregiver in that aspect, you know? Hi, Bacon. Welcome in. Magna. My cake is tasty. My tea is hot. Can't wait to dig in. Hi, how are you? Welcome in. Hi, Houtin. How are you, cutie? How's your night? How are you doing? I'm good. I'm good. Definitely been, now that we're watching food videos, I'm feeling a lot better than I was a little bit ago. And the only reason I say that is because those of you who were here within the first 10 minutes of stream, my neighbors decided to fire off some fireworks. I was not expecting it, and it like literally made my heart stop. Long story short, they've done it before and caught the back of our fence on fire, so that's something that like makes me worry when they do that again. So I had to pause to go check that out. Ear kiss. Oh, you're right, you got a good one. I love a good ear kiss. When did I get one card away from completing the card? Did you really? Are you that close? Really? Hi, Fang Hunter. The one that has a wide smile and the one that glowing eye is the prototype. He's without a doubt my favorite meat I made. Making the eyes was easy, the mouth was a nightmare, but the payoff was wonderful, and the game prototype doesn't show his eye moving besides the music video, or his mouth. So I didn't make his eyes or mouth move to make it accurate to the prototype. That's actually really cool, Spencer. I bet that took a long time. You mean they caught the back of your fence on fire? So they set off fireworks, because fireworks where I live is on fire, and we have a wooden back fence. So they caught the back fence on fire, setting off fireworks, because it literally went into the fence. It caught the fence and a telephone pole on fire, so we didn't have internet for like a week. Hi, J-Bear. How are you? I'm good. Oh my god, that's dangerous. I hate that for you. Me too. Especially like it's 11 o'clock at night, right? When they did that, it was like 10:30. So imagine 10:30 at night, people are like winding down for the night to go to sleep, and your neighbor just starts setting off fireworks. I'm like, I get it's going to be 4th of July this weekend, but it's not the weekend yet. People still have to go to work tomorrow. What the fuck are you thinking? Sorry, it aggravates me. The fence I meant to come fix and turn into stone. Yes, that fence, Bacon. Yeah, that exact fence. Unexpected fireworks are very startling, and it was loud. It was very loud because it's literally our neighbors. Not like right next door. It's like our house right next to us, and it's the neighbors right next to them. So it's like 2 houses down from us that do it. Sorry, I may be lurking, but I'm still listening, dear Lord. I hope things will be okay, especially this Saturday. This Saturday we'll be at my cousin's house, I believe. But I'm really hoping nothing happens while we're not here. Right? I'm really hoping nothing happens while we're not here. That is always the hope, right? Hi, J-Bear. Let me go ahead and add your kiss for you, J-Bear. Let me get that. J-Bear, I'm gonna do the corally orange color that I really like, because I really, really like this one. And we will put it... We'll put it right here. Oh, I didn't mean to move myself. Get the right size. That's good. There we go. Thank you so much, J-Bear. Oh my god. Thank you also. Yeah, I had to make sure I made no mistakes. And fun fact, my Mii's favorite friend is the prototype accurate because of how much I adore the prototype as a character. Oh my gosh, I love that. That's cute. On Canada Day. Yep, Canada Day is tomorrow. Wednesday. I wish that at least show some moderation with the fireworks. I wish, like, if they're gonna set up fireworks, I wish it wasn't at night. I wish it was earlier in the day, in the afternoon, where more people are not trying to get ready for bed. And like, especially if they're gonna do it, like, get the little ones that aren't going to basically fire off into the sky, because you don't know where the embers are going to fall, and you're going to catch somebody's house on fire. They've already caught the alley, right? They've got the fence and the telephone pole on fire. They're gonna do it again just by being stupid. And that's what bothers me. It's just like, you literally have already done this, and you're basically going to let it happen again because you refuse to just get rid of them. Your neighbors are Canadian since July 1st is Canada Day. Yeah, that's tomorrow. Well, it's an hour from now for me. People work on Canada Day. Well, in the US, it's not Canada Day. It's just July 1st. Not for real. I would get so mad too because my pupper is extremely scared of fire. Right? Exactly. We have neighbors that have pets, and for them to like, I don't. It's frustrating. It's so frustrating and annoying, and it pisses me off so badly. I don't have a pupper, but yes, Hobby does. Hi, Soup. How are you, Soup? Oh right, I completely forgot about the Mary command. I forgot to fix it. I will make myself a note to fix the Mary command because it's still not working. If I can't figure it out, I might just remake it, or maybe I'll do a different command because I like having a little chat gotcha thing like that, but at the same time I don't want it to be just like too disturbing to chat, you know what I mean? I work on Canada Day. Do you, Abanon? Just want to say hi before I'm knocked out. Early morning run. I've been running a few weeks now. I feel great. Would do it in good, James. Yeah, to get nice and cozy. James. Thank you for the forehead kiss. You take care. I never celebrate it, so I'm happy I work on my holiday. I feel like they should face some sort of consequences by now. But the thing is we can't prove it. There's nothing that we can do to prove that it's them, right? Like, I know it's them because I could hear where it comes from, but unless I catch them doing it, there is nothing I can do. Outside of Tomodachi Live, Prototype and Puppy Playtime is, in my opinion, a perfect example of an overarching sympathetic antagonist, or the anti-hero, depending on your view. I won't spoil why he's super sympathetic, but if you want to do a deep dive, my friend is actually playing the game right now, and so like I'm watching them play it. So I kind of understand what's going on. He hasn't finished it yet, but I'm hoping he does soon so that I can watch the whole thing, you know. I'd break it and steal out the fireworks and dump into a pit and pour cement all over it in Minecraft. In Minecraft. Here, PC, I'll drive down and watch the house on Saturday. No, if you did that, Bacon, you would just join us at my cousin's house for a barbecue. For goodness sake. I like this plan. Thank you for the kiss. I work every holiday during my seasonal job. Every holiday? That would drive me crazy. I wouldn't even get paid extra for it yet. Wait, why not? Why don't you get paid for your... It's seasonal work. Like, most jobs, if you work on the holiday, you get paid extra. Zivo! Zivu, have a good lurk. Enjoy your night. I seem to remind you to do things. You do. I've literally forgot all about it until right now. That is very true. I would come at the barbecue with you. We could finally have that dance. Okay, we're weird. We don't really do like we don't really like dance like at family barbecues. It's weird. We just don't. I don't know why. Oh, custard. I love custard. I haven't been with this company that long. Okay, have you been with them at least for 3 months? Okay, I hope he finds a special tape in chapter 5, but yeah, if you couldn't tell, big fan of Poppy Playtime, though I make sure not to overtalk about it. Second favorite horror game. You know, that's fair. That's fair. Poppy Playtime is a really cool... It's an interesting concept for a game. That's what I really like about it. It's a game concept that I think, like, started that kind of franchise, if that makes sense. Jose! Welcome in. Good to see you, too. From YouTube, wanted to hear more of your lovely voice. Thank you so much for coming on over. I watched this guy for cooking tips. Me too, Kiwi. Sorry, that was my bad. I was not looking at my YouTube chat, but hi, Kiwi. Thank you so much for hanging out with me on YouTube. Joseph says that, or it came from Instagram. I mean, it could be either or, right? Which is actually fun. So Hobby is the one that told me I've been doing pretty good on Instagram lately, and I'm just like, huh? I am? But how are you, Joseph? How's your night going? We don't have family barbecues. It's not a thing in my country. Really? No barbecue? That's fair though. Not even, what about like just like a family dinner, like a family get together? It's the same kind of idea as a family barbecue. Are you wearing a cyberpunk outfit? Because the video is in the way of me seeing what you're wearing. Amazing person. It is, yes. I am wearing the cyberpunk outfit, yes. We are watching the video right now because I started stream like late because I was already kind of like stressing about some stuff. And then 10 minutes into it, our neighbors decided to set off some really loud fireworks that just kind of startled me, and like I was kind of already in a tired mood, and it just kind of like drained the rest of my energy to not just say fuck it and just not stream. So we're watching a food video so I can calm down a bit before we go do the reading tonight. But hi Apex, speaking of barbecue, I want to do an overnight barbecue recipe that Max Miller did, but I have not the barbecue equipment, and the mosquitoes will feast on my blood before I can feast on the barbecue ribs. Oh my gosh. No. Hopefully you can try it out though. I love a good like when you let the meat kind of soak in the flavors that you're gonna cook them with. Oh, they taste so good that way. I just randomly saw you in my feed, which I think is so funny. Which is so funny, hubby. Favorite horror game of all time? It's Gracewind Tale, Do You Copy? The isolated suspense that gives cozy but paranoia vibes. Chef's kiss. That sounds good. Instagram algorithm is weird. From what I notice, it's very weird. I don't understand it. I kind of understand YouTube algorithm, TikTok kinda. It's hard for me to like get the mental state of like one algorithm website to like another, you know what I mean? So I just kind of like go with what worked last time. Family get-togethers, just not specifically barbecues. Yeah, that makes sense, hubby. Doing good, just got off work and got a 4-day weekend to look forward to. Starting today? You have a 4-day weekend starting today, Joseph? That's so cool. You have any plans? You going anywhere? You doing anything? You're going to have to explain this so many times. I'm so sorry. No, you're good, Michael. You're good. Once we get into the reading part of tonight's stream, it'll just be like normal stream night. And I think that's kind of like the important part is to like get to that, to get into the normal routine, and then things will be okay again, right? It's the whole like you start your day with expectations. So like I started my stream with the expectation of what we're going to do before we got into the reading, and then the expectation was shattered because of the actions of other people, and it's frustrating because there's nothing you can do about it except you have to smile and keep going. And I think that's just the fact of everyday life, right? So I had a question, but I decided not to ask you because it was afraid of getting banned here. Because the question I had for you. No, Apex, ask the question. If it's something I feel I can't answer or I won't answer, I will just say so. And it's not like if you're obviously within Twitch TOS, right? You're not going to say any racial slurs or sexist slurs. You're not going to do anything like that. So you could ask your question 100%. Just too busy watching streams. I was not Striker. Literally, when I was watching your stream, I was organizing the team Discord. Yesterday, I made the card, the card website for the team. And then today I did that. After the collab I had, we had a meeting, and then I did that. And then had dinner. And then I made sure my dad ate because he was sleeping pretty much all day. He had an appointment earlier today. And those of you who don't know, a couple of months ago, my dad had a stroke. So it took some time for us to like get into a new routine with him, right? Check the foods that he can eat to make sure that what we're making is what he can eat, or if, you know, if he can't eat it, then what can we give him in like replacement, right? So because he slept pretty much all day today after his doctor's appointment, he had I don't want to talk about that. So when I need to make sure that he ate, and he made himself some food and he left it on the counter, but it was really hot. So I stirred it up a bit to make it cool down, and then I went and gave it to him, and then I hopped onto stream. I miss some good barbecue. It's been a while since I've had some carne asada and pollo. Okay, Joseph. The best thing about like a good family barbecue to me, right, is the spicy kielbasa sausage in a tortilla with mustard and grilled onions. Is that not like the best thing ever? Is that not the best thing ever? Other people are frustrating sometimes. It's true. They are. They are. Oh my god. 2 years, Abaddon? Holy shit, brother. And the best part, it's short with 4 possible endings. So if you want a fast 100% walkthrough, it's possible. Oh, okay. The Goatman, the first game. Silhouette on Crappy Monster. Springtrap, in my opinion. I was a bit busy. My 4-day weekend hasn't started yet. It's on Thursday. Oh, okay. I thought you meant because you said today you got off work and then you have a 4-day weekend. I just assumed you meant today was like the last day and then you had your 4-day weekend like starting tomorrow. Okay, that was my bad. I should have asked. I get you. It'll make me hungry right after I just ate lunch. Lunche. What did you have for lunche? Kiwi. Hi, Kiwi. Welcome in. To hear that. Glad your dad has a great and loving family. Yeah, he's been doing a lot better. Those of you who were here can recall how I was like talking about it and saying that like I'm so tired because I stayed up really late to make sure that I made breakfast for my dad and checked his blood sugar, helped him with medications. Over the past like that was like April or March when that happened. I think it was like April or March when that happened. So in the last couple months he's been able to like move around on his own, check his own blood sugar, take his own medication and everything. But you know, today we gave him a little bit of extra spoiling because of the appointment basically like drained him right afterwards. He was so tired all day. So that sounds bomb, right? Ugh, I love a good spicy sausage in a tortilla, and I loved grilled onions. So good. Like I've known you longer than 2 years. I think we have known each other longer than 2 years, Abaddon, but you've only been a follower of my channel because I believe somebody that you followed rated into me and you're just like, oh shit, Momo streams. I believe that's what it was. We have ads starting in about a minute, guys. My god, stream baby, stream baby. Yeah, it's all good. Whatever you need to do to take care of your family always comes first. Exactly. I remember you from before you became a Siren. Remember the panda. It's true. Still gonna give you a hard time. I know, Striko. I would expect nothing less from my friend. I had some themes. Oh, I love themes. Kiwi. Hi, cutie. Hi. Springtrap carried both my childhood and FNAF. Prototype was dethroned him. Oh, what? Are you Hispanic as well? I am. I am. Oh, right. Reason I brought up... Looks like ads starting, guys. Dance because apparently... Oh, you won. You do. It's true. That's most likely what happened. Looks like ads are starting, guys. We're gonna do a quick BRB. I'm gonna pause the video here. We're gonna do a quick BRB. I'm gonna get prepared to do the book, and then when we come back, we'll go ahead and we will start the journey of Frankenstein. So I'll be right back, everybody. Okay. I am ready for tonight's reading stream. And hopefully you guys are too. I changed out of the outfit, Michael, because I felt you were talking about how much you like the reading stream with the sweater. So I decided we should wear the sweater. After, if you prefer the cyber, I will put that back on. I got news. Hi, Robert. Hi, Berentu. Welcome in. Welcome back. Welcome back. I really do like the sweater for reading nights. Me too. Me too. When you said that, I was just like, oh my god, he is so right. He's so real for that. I agree. I full-heartedly agree. Really quick. Chef, thank you for being first. Wave, thank you for being second. And Fen, thank you so much for being third. Thank you, thank you. Let's go here. Okay. Let's see. Got my Discord account back. Oh, good. Good, good, good. I'm glad. I'm glad you got it back. Woohoo! I know, right? Congratulations. That's always so hard, right? Oh. There we go. Much better. Cheeto Puff, hi. Thank you so much for the biddies. How are you? Let me see. Welcome back. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Recognize this piano piece. Hi, clarinets. Yeah, so the piano piece is, or it's a, I guess I should say it's a, let's see. Cello Sonata number 1, Allegro non troppo. Hi, clarinets. I figured since we're reading a classic horror story, basically, because that's what Frankenstein is. It is a horror story. I figured we could listen to some classical music. It gets really, really quiet in some places, so I'll try to keep an eye on it, make sure it doesn't get too loud for us. I'm afraid to battle if I'm the only one away. Oh, you know what I should do? Hold on, hear me out. Hear me out. Maybe just like that. Maybe just like that for tonight. And we do this. What do you guys think for tonight's stream? A little bit on the creepy side? What do you guys feel? Welcome back, thank you. Do really like the sweater. It's very comfy cozy. Right? Very comfy cozy for tonight. I agree. I agree. I'm just giving out biddies. You are. You know what? We reappreciate the bits. There we go. I think that's pretty nice and ambient. Hi, drink. Thank you for the drink. Hello. Hi, clarinet. Make sure I didn't miss anybody's redeem really quick. I'm not going to read off the dailies today. Let's see. Aiden, thank you for the cake. And Stormy. Mwah. Ghost, you want an ara-ara? You want an ara-ara from Michael? Okay. Here, I'll do it this way for Michael really quick. Michael. 見込んだね. Daisuki da yo. Ara ara. Yes, water. Actually, Baylor, I can have a lovely stream. Thank you, Hoppy. Hi, Mouse. There's a National Theatre production you can find online on their side of Frankenstein. Benedict Cumberbatch plays Frankenstein's monster. There's also a version where they play Frankenstein because during the run of the play, the actor who played Frankenstein and the monster would swap roles. Yes, I have seen that, and I think it looks like such a good production. I would love to watch that. You must play in the clarinet. Consumption of G-subs, dog is still from March, though I still had to keep stirring to mix it up. I haven't gotten a shaker cup yet. You need to get a shaker cup, Filoni, especially because they do a lot of promos where it's like, get a shaker cup, or sorry, get a tub and you get a free shaker cup. So make sure you look out for those promos. I try to post them in my Discord. That way you can get a free one when you purchase your next tub. It's beautiful. Thank you. Classical music is my favorite genre. Honestly, I love good classical music too. I was trying to find... There's this one song where I love the cello. The cello is like my favorite instrument. And it's very soft and it's very soothing. I've been wanting to find it, but I don't know the name of the song. I just remember hearing it and I'm just like, I love that so much. Let me see. Thank you for the flowers. And McNuthead. And Sloth. Thank you for the forehead kisses. It's the first work of science fiction in English literature. True, it is. Feeling the power coursing through my veins. Very nice. That's lovely. Okay. Read everything. It's perfect. Thank you for the care package. Alright guys, we're gonna do a quick care package. So sit up straight, tilt your head to the left. And tilt your head to the right. Look up. And look down. Sit up and drink some Wawa. Thank you for the care package. It's wide open for someone. Summerwing. Dance Macabre is my favorite orchestral piece because it was the first one I saw played in a live... That's so cool. Hi Yuda! In a live orchestral performance. I've never been to a orchestral performance before. I think I am gonna change the music. Let me see. We are using... What one are we doing? Allegro non troppo. Allegro non troppo. What about this one? What about this one? Oh, this is a good one. Yes, I love this. I love this. This was one of my favorite ones. I love the Poussey. Hi, another nobody. Welcome in. The Tingle command is at 68. I mentioned that I was a wide open for someone else to add. Oh, that's what you mean. Worked 12, came home, passed out for 4, and now I'm wide awake. Oh no, Yuda. You need to get some sleep. You should. You should definitely get some rest. Let me do this really quick. Oh, I typed in the wrong chat. Oops. There you go. Alright, if you guys would like to join us while we read, there is the book that we'll be reading tonight. We are starting Frankenstein from Project Gutenberg, or the Modern Prometheus. We're gonna start with letter 1 to Miss Saville, England. St. Petersburg, December 11th, 17. You will rejoice to hear that no disaster has accompanied the commencement of the enterprise which you have regarded with such evil foreboding. I arrived here yesterday, and my first task is to assure that my dear sister of my welfare and increased confidence in the success of my undertaking. I am already far north of London, and as I walk in the streets of Petersburg, I feel a cold northern breeze play upon my cheeks, which braces my nerves and fills me with delight. Do you understand this feeling? The breeze, which has traveled from the regions towards which I am advancing, gives me a foretaste of those icy climes. Inspirited by this wind of promise, my daydreams become more reverent and vivid. I try in vain to be persuaded that the pole is the seat of frost and desolation. It never presents itself to my imaginings as the region of beauty and delight. There, Margaret, the sun is for ever visible, its broad dusk just skirting the horizon and diffusing a perpetual splendor. There, for with your leave, my sister, I will put some trust in preceding navigators. There, snow and frost are banished, and sailing over calm seas, we may be wafted into a land surpassing its wonders, and in beauty every region hitherto discovered on the habitable globe. Its productions and features may be without example, as the phenomena of the heavenly bodies undoubtedly are those undiscovered solitudes. What may not be expected in a country of eternal light? I may there discover the wondrous power which attracts the needle, and may regulate 1,000 celestial observations that require only this voyage to render their seeming eccentricities consistent forever. I shall satiate my ardent curiosity with the sight of a part of the world never before visited, and may tread a land never before imprinted by the foot of man. These are my enticements, and they are sufficient to conquer all fear of danger or death, and to induce me to commence this laborious voyage with the joy of a child feels when he embarks in a little boat with his holiday mates on an expedition of discovery up his native river. But supposing all these conjectures to be false, you cannot contest the inestimable benefit which I shall confer on all mankind to the last generation by discovering a passage near the pole of those countries, to reach which at present so many months are requisite. Non-estimable. Yeah, this is wonderful. Kira. Or by ascertaining the secret of the magnet which, if at all possible, can only be effected by an understanding such as mine. These reflections have dispelled the agitation with which I begin my letter, and I feel my heart glow with enthusiasm which elevates me to heaven, for nothing contributes so much to tranquilize the mind as a steady purpose, a point on which the soul may fix its intellectual eye. This expedition has been the favorite dream of my early years. I have read with ardor the accounts of the various voyages which have been made in the prospect of arriving at the North Pacific Ocean through the seas which surround the pole. You may remember that a history of all voyages have made for purpose of discovery composed the whole of our good Uncle Thomas' library. My education was neglected, yet I passionately fond of reading. These volumes were my study day and night, and my familiarity with them increased that regret which I had felt as a child on learning that my father's dying injunction had forbidden my uncle to allow me to embark in a seafaring life. These visions faded when I pursued for the first time those poets whose infusions entranced my soul and lifted it to heaven. I also became a poet, and for 1 year lived in a paradise of my own creation. I imagined that I also might obtain a niche in the temple where the names of Homer and Shakespeare are consecrated. You are well acquainted with my failure and how heavily I bore the disappointment, but just as time I inherited the fortune of my cousin and my thoughts returned into the channel of their earlier bent. 6 years have passed since I resolved on my present undertaking. I can, even now, remember the hour from which I dedicated myself to this great enterprise. I commenced by inuring my body to hardship. I accompanied the whale fishers on several expeditions to the North Sea. Don't do it, don't sing it. I voluntarily endured cold, famine, thirst, and want of sleep. I often worked harder than the common sailors during the day and devoted my nights to the study of mathematics, the theory of medicine, and those branches of physical science from which a naval adventurer might derive the greatest practical advantage. Twice, I actually hired myself as an undermate and the Greenland whaler and acquitted myself to admiration. I must own, I felt a little proud when my captain offered me the second dignity in the vessel and entreated me to remain with the greatest earnestness. So valuable did he consider my services. And now, dear Margaret, I do not deserve or accomplish some great purpose. My life might have been passed in ease and luxury, but I preferred glory to every enticement that wealth placed in my path. Oh, that some encouraging voice would answer in the affirmative. My courage and my resolution is firm, but my hopes fluctuate and my spirits are often depressed. I'm about to proceed on a long and difficult voyage, the emergencies of which will demand all my fortitude. I am required not only to raise the spirits of others, but sometimes to sustain my own when theirs are failing. This is the most favorable period of traveling in Russia. They fly quickly over the snow of their sledges. The motion is pleasant and, in my opinion, far more agreeable than that of the English stagecoach. The cold is not excessive if you are wrapped in furs, a dress which I have already adopted, for there is a great difference between walking the deck and remaining seated motionless for hours, when no exercise prevents the blood from actually freezing in your veins. I have no ambition to lose my life on the post road between St. Petersburg and Archangel. I shall depart for the later town in a fortnight or 3 weeks, and my intention is to hire a ship there, which can easily be done by paying the insurance for the owner, and to engage as many soldiers as I think necessary among those who are accustomed to the whale fishing. I do not intend to sail until the month of June. And when shall I return? Dear sister, how can I answer this question? If I succeed, many, many months, perhaps years, will pass before you and I may meet. If I fail, you will see me again soon or never. Farewell, my dear sister, my dear excellent Margaret. Heaven shower down blessings on you, and save me, that I may again and again testify my gratitude for all your love and kindness. Your affectionate brother, R. Walton. So these are, they don't say whose letters these are or what their meaning is, but it looks like an R. Walton is writing to his sister Margaret about going on an exhibition of some sort in Russia. Letter 2. I'm going to do this really quick because normally I update when we're doing different things. So I'm just going to say letters 1 through 3 because these are very short letters. Lonely Little Hufflepuff and Nyx fan, thanks so much for the follows. Welcome in. Letter 2 to Miss Seville of England. Archangel, 28th of March, 17. Journey to a sister back in London, it looks like. Well, in England. We don't know if it's London specifically, but somewhere in England, yes. Alright. How slowly the time passes here. Encompassed. Wait, I just realized something. Am I still reverbing? I'm still reverbing. Do you guys like the reverb? I just realized I was still reverbing. I can turn it off if it's too much. Yes? Okay, I'll turn it off. How slowly the time passes here, encompassed as I am by frost and snow, yet a second step is taken towards my enterprise. I have hired a vessel, and I'm occupied in collecting my sailors. Those whom I have already engaged appear to be men on whom I can depend and are certainly possessed of dauntless courage. But I have one want which I have never yet been able to satisfy, and the absence of that object of which I now feel at most severe evil. I have no friend, Margaret. When I am glowing with the enthusiasm of success, there will be none to participate my joy. If I'm assaulted by disappointment, no one will endeavor to sustain me in dejection. I shall commit my thoughts to paper, it is true, but that is a poor medium for the communication of feeling. I desire the company of a man who could sympathize with me, whose eyes would reply to mine. You may deem me romantic, my dear sister, but I bitterly feel the want of a friend. I have no one near me gentle, yet courageous, possessed of a cultivation, as well as a capricious mind, whose tastes are like my own, to approve or amend my plans. How would such a friend repair the faults of your poor brother? I am too ardent in execution and too impatient of difficulties, but it is a still greater evil to me that I am self-educated, and for the first 14 years of my life I ran wild on a common and read nothing but our Uncle Thomas's books of voyages. At that time I became acquainted with the celebrated poets of our own country, but it was only when I had ceased to be in my power to derive its most important important benefits from such a conviction that I perceived the necessity of becoming acquainted with more languages than that of my native country. Now I'm 28, and I am in reality more illiterate than many schoolboys of 15. It is true that I have thought more, and that my daydreams are more extended and magnificent, but they want, as all painters call it, keeping, and I greatly need a friend who would have sense enough not to despise me as romantic, and affection enough for me to endure to regulate my mind. Well, these are useless complaints. I shall certainly find no friend on the wide ocean, nor even here in Archangel among merchants and seamen. Yet some feelings, unallied to the dross of human nature, beat even in these rugged bosoms. My lieutenant, for instance, is a man of wonderful courage and enterprise. He is madly desirous of glory, or rather, to word my phrase more characteristically, of advancement in his profession. He is an Englishman, and in the midst of national and professional prejudices unsoftened by cultivation, retains some of the noblest endowments of humanity. I first became acquainted with him on board a whale vessel. Finding that he was unemployed in this city, I easily engaged him to assist in my enterprise. The master is a person of an excellent disposition, and is remarkable in the ship for his great gentleness and the mildness of his discipline. These circumstances, added to his well-known integrity and dauntless courage, made me very desirous to engage him. A youth passed in solitude, my best years spent under your gentle and feminine fosterage, has so refined the groundwork of my character that I cannot overcome an intense distaste to the usual brutality exercised on board ship. I've never believed it to be necessary, and when I heard of a mariner equally noted for his kindliness of heart and the respect and obedience paid to him by his crew, I felt myself particularly fortunate in being able to secure his services. I heard of him first in rather a romantic manner, from a lady who owes to him the happiness of her life. This, briefly, is her story. Some years ago he loved a young Russian lady of moderate fortune, and having amassed a considerable sum in prize money, the father of the girl consummated the match. He saw his mistress once before the destined ceremony, but she was bathed in tears and throwing herself at his feet, entreated him to spare her, confessing at the time that she loved another, but that he was poor and that her father would not consent to the union. My generous friend reassured the suppliant, on being informed of the name of her lover, instantly abandoned his pursuit. He had already bought a farm with his money, on which he had designed to pass the remainder of his life, but he bestowed the whole of his rival, together with the remains of his prize money, to purchase stock, and then himself solicited the young woman's father to consent to her marriage with her lover. But the old man decidedly refused, thinking himself bound in honor to my friend, who, when he found the father inexorable, quitted his country, nor returned until he heard that his former mistress has married according to her inclinations. What a noble fellow, you will exclaim. He is so, but then he is wholly uneducated. He is as silent as a Turk, and the kind of ignorant carelessness attends him which, while it renders his conduct the more astonishing, distracts from the interest and sympathy which others he would command. Yet do not suppose, because I complain a little, or because I can conceive a consolation for my toils, which I may never know, but that I am wavering in my resolutions. Those are fixed as fate, and my voyage is only now delayed until the weather shall permit my embarkation. The winter has been dreadfully severe, but the spring promises well, and it is considered as a remarkably early season, so that perhaps I may sail sooner than I expected. I shall do nothing rashly. You know me sufficiently to confide in my prelude and consideratedness, whether the safety of others is committed to my care. I cannot describe to you the sensations on the near prospect of my undertaking. It is impossible to communicate to you the conception of the trembling sensations, half pleasurable and half fearful, with which I am preparing to depart. I am going to unexplored regions, to the land of mist and snow, but I shall kill no albatross, but therefore do not be alarmed for my safety, or if I should come back to you as worn and woeful as the ancient mariner. You will smile at my allusions, but I will disclose a secret. I have often attributed my attachment to, my passionate enthusiasm for, the dangerous mysteries of ocean to that production of the most imaginative of modern poets. There is something at work in my soul which I do not understand. I am practically industrious, painstaking, a workman to execute with perseverance and labor. But besides this, there is a love for the marvelous, a belief in the marvelous, entwined in all my projects, which hurries me out to the common pathways of men, even to the wild sea and unvisited regions I am about to explore. But to return to dear considerations, I shall meet you again. After having traversed immense seas and returned by the most southern cape of Africa or America, I dare not expect such success, yet I cannot bear to look on the reverse of the picture. Continue for the present to write to me by every opportunity. I may receive your letters on some occasion when I need them most to support my spirits. I love you tenderly. Remember me with affection should you never hear from me again. Your affectionate brother, Robert Walton. Digressing in the book. Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner. Orlando Flores, thank you for the follow. Miss Nix fan, thank you for the follow as well. Making a summon. Something is coming. What's up, Envo? It's a nice touch even. Okay, gonna drink a little bit of water and then we'll get into the last letter. Oh, 2 more letters, my bad. Is 4, letter 4 the last letter? Yes, letter 4 is the last letter. Okay. Nibun. Newbun? Bun. I'm just gonna call you Bun if that's okay. Hi, Bun. Thank you for the follow. Welcome in, welcome in. Dreamy Fox Raid, bringing your cozy dreams. Hi, welcome in, welcome in. How are you, cutie? How's your night? Welcome on in, Raiders. Welcome to Favorite Cafe. I'm Mukya. You're having a wonderful night. I am. I'm having a good night. We just started reading Frankenstein. I do reading on every Tuesdays, and we just finished 2,000 Leagues Under the Sea, and we are starting Frankenstein. But to anyone that is new and coming in with that raid, I'm Mukya. I'm a siren with a necrotic affliction, and I run a cafe. If you guys would like a drink, I can do tea, boba, coffee, hot cocoa, however the cake is extra. Very comfy? Yeah, thank you so much. Hopefully you had a good time. What were you up to? Were you doing some ASMR too? And Envo, thank you so much for gifting them a sub. Thank you, thank you. You were doing some ASMR. Let me give you a quick follow as well. I would love to check out your stream sometime. But New Bun, is it new? Nayu? Nayu Bun? If you need to raid and run, I understand, Bun Bun. If you'd like to lurk and hang out, you're more than welcome to. Just make sure to do your after stream care, eat food, drink water, take a shower because you're a stinky gamer. Whatever it is you need to do for yourself, please make sure to take care, okay? New Bun. New Bun. New Bun. Got it, got it. New Bun. Thank you so much. Thank you. Jackie Boy, thank you for the follow. Andre the Nobody, thank you for the follow. Chunks and Wild Whispers, thank you so much for the follow as well. Thank you. That is so cute. Getting nice and cozy. Do you like story time? Are you enjoying? Do you like story time? I love reading stories to people. Thank you so much. Rem the Pug, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Thank you for stopping by. No, thank you. Thank you, thank you. New Bun, if there is a I usually don't do redeems on Tuesday nights, but if you'd like, I can give you kissies, or I could do a good girl or good boy or good bun bun with the echo reverb. Otherwise, if you don't have a preference, I can just get nice and cozy again and get back into the book, whatever you would prefer. Whatever you would prefer. Completely up to you, cutie. I'm like fighting off my nose from getting all runny and gross. You know that feeling when you can like, you can feel it, where you're just like really trying not to like sneeze, and you're just like sniffling to keep it from happening. Hi, Atto. Welcome in, baby. How are you? How's your night? Hope you're doing good. Welcome in, welcome in. Hello, hello, hello. We are reading Frankenstein to anyone that would like to join us on the reading. If you want to join us, here is the link to the book. Otherwise, if you'd like to just relax and lay back and listen, you are more than welcome to. Barely United, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Hi PS5, welcome in. How are you? I'm good. I'm good. We're starting a new book today, and I'm really excited for to get into the meat of the story. We're still at like the intro part where they're introducing this character named Robert Walton. Birdie. Oh my gosh. Hi Birdie. Welcome in Raiders. Welcome in Birdie. Welcome on in Raiders. Welcome to your favorite cafe. I'm Mukya. Hi boss. Hi Sabster Fasho. Thank you for the follow. Welcome in. I'm Mukya. I'm a siren with a necrotic affliction and I run a cafe. If you guys would like a drink, we could do tea, boba, coffee, hot cocoa. However, the cake is extra. Welcome in. Hello, hi Sunny. The stream looks serious. Not really serious. It's reading night. Hi to read and run, but my fiance needs to sleep for his interview. Okay, Burpee. Have a good sleep. Mwah. Mwah. Have a good night, Birdie. Enjoy your sleep and thank you again so much for the raid. Welcome in Cerebral Spill and Ikitaku. Thank you for the follows. Welcome in. Thank you. Mwah. Thank you, ma'am. Of course. To anyone that is coming in with the raid from Newbun or from Burby, I am Mukya and I do reading nights on Tuesday. So tonight we are reading Frankenstein. We just started it. We haven't gotten into the meat of the story yet. We're still doing the intro letters. So we have these letters from this person named Robert Walton. Axtero, thank you so much for gifting a sub over to Birdie. Birdie, enjoy those emotes and is always welcome to your favorite cafe. Good story when I fall asleep. Have a good lurk, Zach. Enjoy your night. Yeah, I do Tuesday reading nights every Tuesday. Every Tuesday. Walton's digressing, which is critical to the plot, I swear. So it started off with this character named Walton, who is excitedly telling his sister that he's gonna go on this big adventure somewhere in the north. What kind of streams do I do? So on Mondays I do trigger nights and like with like Wooden Frog and Whispers. I do affirmation redeems as well as like just like the classic ASMR stuff. On Tuesdays I read books. Every Tuesday we always read a book. And we keep reading the book every Tuesday until the end of the story. Last week we finished 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Before that book we did Alice in Wonderland. Before that book we did Dracula. And after this one it'll be my pick to pick the book. You guys have picked Dracula and this one, so the next book will be my choice. Book reading sounds very nice. It's one of my favorite nights of the week. And then I play games on Friday, Saturday. Recently, we've been doing a lot of indie showcases of indie games that developers have given me the keys to. So, nice, interesting. Hi, Jose. And Lansing? Thanks so much for the follow. I was about to, honestly, Lansing, I was about to call you Lannister, and I was like, it's not Lannister, read it again. Jamie Lannister. I was like, no, not the Lannisters. Fuck off. Sorry, anyways. I dig some book reading. I love book reading. For anyone that just came in with the raids from Newbun or from Burby, if you guys would like to get nice and cozy and comfortable, go ahead, take this time to take a little bit of a breather and get comfortable. Are you librarian? I'm not. I'm a siren that runs a cafe, and I have a necrotic affliction. But don't worry, I'm not contagious. Now, Naoki Okay and Sapster, thank you for the follows. Welcome in. But we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna get back into the book. Wombles, thank you for the follow. Welcome in, Sweetling. I'm gonna get back into the book, everybody. So if you do any comments in the chat, I will look at it when we find a good time to break. Because I try to kind of focus on the reading when we're reading the story. You can be contagious with me. I can. You're okay if I bite you and you become necrotically afflicted as well. Or smoochies, it's true. But let's get nice and comfortable, guys. One more time, really quick. If you're at your desk, sit up straight and just relax yourself a bit. If you're laying down in bed, lay down onto your back. Dwayne, welcome in. Thank you for the follow. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath through the nose. And exhale through your mouth. One more time. Inhale through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. All right. Now that we're relaxed, let's get back into the book, okay? Letter 3 to Miss Seville, England, July 7th, 17th. My dear sister, I write a few lines in haste to say that I am safe and well advanced on my voyage. This letter will reach England by a merchantman now on its homeward voyage from Archangel. More fortunate than I, who may not see my native land perhaps for many years. I am, however, in good spirits. My men are bold and apparently firm of purpose, nor do the floating sheets of ice that continually pass by indicate the dangers of the region towards which we are advancing appear to dismay them. We have already reached a very high altitude, but it is the height of summer, and although not too warm as in England, the southern gales which blow us speedily towards those shores which I so ardently desire to attain breathe a degree of renovating warmth which I had not expected. No incidents have hitherto befallen us that would make a figure in a letter. One or two stiff gales and the sprinting of a leak are accidents which experienced navigators scarcely remember to record, and I shall be well content if nothing worse happens to us during our voyage. Adieu, my dear Margaret. Be assured that for my own sake, as well as yours, I will not rashly encounter danger. I will be cool, persevering, and prudent, but success shall crown my endeavors. Wherefore not? Thus I have gone, tracing a secure way over the pathless seas, the very stars themselves being witness and testimonies of my triumph. Why not still proceed over the untamed yet obedient element? What can stop the determined heart and resolved will of man? My swelling heat involuntarily pours itself out thus, but I must finish. Heaven bless my beloved sister. W.R. You said you're a sea monster? I'm a siren. Secret Hazelnut, welcome in. Do Ogre, thank you for the follows, welcome in. I'm a sea monster, it's true. Just like that. Letter 4. Oh, really quick, to anyone who would like to join us on the reading, here is the link to the book if you'd like to join us. It is also pinned to the top of chat. Letter 4. To Miss Seville. Oh, it's 4 letters, not 3. Oops, my bad. Let me do this really quick. It won't matter in a second, but just in case people are like, wait, where are we? Okay. Letter 4. To Miss Seville, England, August 5th, 17... So strange an incident has happened to us that I cannot forbear recording it, although it is very probable that you will see me before these papers can come into your possession. Last Monday, July 31st, we were nearly surrounded by ice, which closed in the ship on all sides, scarcely leaving her the sea room in which she floated. Our situation was somewhat dangerous, especially as we were compassed round by a very thick fog. We accordingly lay to, hoping that some change would take place in the atmosphere and weather. You want a song, Andre? Okay, hold on. Just so you guys know, I'm not a siren because I choose to be. Sing me a song of a lass that is gone. Maybe that lass is I. Weary a soul away on a day. Maybe that lass is I. There you go. I do sing. Listening? Yeah. One another? Okay. One more. What's a good one? I got a good one. I got a good one for you guys. Okay. Hear me out. Hear me out. Does that song go again? Wait. Oh. Hush, little children, I'll take thee away. Here in my garden of magic. Come, little children, the time's come to play. Here in my garden of magic. There you go. One of my favorites. Mine too. I love that one. They crash the ships now. It's true. It's true. This song sounds familiar. It is from... Oh gosh, what's the name of the movie now? I can't think of it. The one... Hocus Pocus. Hocus Pocus. Thank you, Dwayne. Thank you, thank you. Thank you. That's good shit, ma'am. I'm glad you like it. Anastasia? Nope, that was from Hocus Pocus. Anastasia is... you're thinking Dancing Bears. That's... Dancing bears, painted wings, things I almost remember, and a song someone sings once upon a December. Can you do a deep bass one that tells of those creatures past, if you could? I'm actually not a bass, I'm a soprano. If you want a deeper song, I could do Astro, thank you for the follow. Raccoon, thank you for the follow as well. Dino Knight, thank you for the follow. Sweetlings, welcome in, welcome in. It looks like we have ads starting in about... Okay, we've got 2 more minutes. I will restart this letter after the ads. Nightmare Before Christmas, that's a good one. Almost metal opera. Nightmare Before Christmas. There must be something in the wind that tells me tragedy's at hand. And though I'd love to stand by him in that enthusiastic crowd. Alright, what else? You guys throw it at me. Somebody said sea shanties earlier? Okay, hold on. Let me think. How does it go? Oh gosh, there's a song in my head for hold on. Oh, just for one last time, I would take the Northwest Passage to find the hand of Franklin reaching for the Beaufort Sea, tracing one warm line through a land so wild and savage, and make the Northwest Passage to the sea. There you go. Sea shanty. Hoist the colors from the Pirates of the Caribbean. Oh, looks like ads a hit. So we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna do a quick BRB. Once the ads are done running, then I will come back and we will do some more reading, guys. We're back. Welcome back, everybody. Hopefully you got nice and cozy. Bunk chat with the book, of course, only if they want me to. Golden. Thank you for the forehead kiss. 92? FC92, thank you for the follow. Bob Ross. Oh my gosh, guys, we're followed by Bob Ross. Thank you for the follow. Thank you, thank you. And thank you for the coffee order. I am so sorry. I did not mean to do that, Saber. I am so sorry. No. My bad, Saber. My bad. You're fine. You're fine. How do I... Are you good? Oops, my bad. No, you're fine. I misclicked. I clicked something and I accidentally clicked that. My bad. I am so sorry. Cheers by Gyla. Say some more. I am so sorry, Saber. Come to chill in your lovely voice after session of 4 to 14. Hazelnut, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. So those of you who are new and coming in today, when you do 500 bits or a sub, I will add a kiss mark to the model and it stays all night. Hazelnut, I'm gonna give you this dark purple. I don't really have like a hazelnut color, but I have this purple. Hopefully this is an okay color for you. And I will put it right here, right under the hair, so you can see it. There you go. That's good. It's not perfect, actually. It's not exactly where I want it to be. I'm gonna adjust it a bit more. Oh. Thank you for the glasses. Because it's like attached to where I don't want it to be attached to. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to put yours to like my forehead then, Hazel. It's not wanting to attach where I want it to attach. But there we go. Thank you, Hazel. Thank you so much for the resub. Oh, I mean not the resub, for the subscription. Jack, thank you for the follow. Glasses for reading. Thank you, Mesa. Glasses. Have no depth of perception. I do? Yes. Makes you think of your spouse went to kiss you, but has drunk and hot chocolate where they missed you. They did, yeah. They dropped it. Just a little splash, but that's okay. But thank you so much. Thank you. Enjoy this emotes, Hazel. Thank you. Hate your job sometimes, I'm sorry. I was supposed to do Mothra's song sung by the twins. I don't know that one, I'm sorry. Purple is a good color. It's a color of royalty. It is. It is often the color of royalty because the process to make purple is very long and extensive. But really quick, it is actually going to be Rio's birthday tomorrow, and I'm not going to be streaming tomorrow. So instead, what I'm going to do for Rio, I'm going to put a cake on the table for you as soon as I find where I put it. Here? No. Did I put it here? No. Did I put it here? I did not. Okay. Let's see. Image. Here we go. Oh my god, that's a big cupcake. Here you go, Rio. I will put your birthday cake, your birthday treat, right here. There you go, Rio. Happy birthday, Rio. Oh, those of you who are on mobile, I will put it right there. Actually, right there, maybe? Yeah, there we go. There you guys can see the birthday treat. Hi, Bron. Rio? Rio is a member of the community who came in. He might be lurking right now, but he said that tomorrow's his birthday. Sophisticated. I try to be. Sometimes I'm not. Can't see out of the black eye. It's more of a scent than I can see, and sometimes I can see things that I'm not actually looking at. Hi, Kiwiman. Cake time! Yeah! Looks very yummy. It's white. It's a white cupcake, like white cake. The cake itself is white. And then the cream on top is blueberry lemon. And the sprinkles are just like little sugar crystals. So it's sweet and tart and very, very tasty. What would be your favorite dinosaur? Favorite prehistoric animal? Prehistoric animal? Oof. I'm really bad at remembering the name of it, but it's that one dinosaur that has feathers and it looks like a bird. Like if a raptor was feathered. You know what I mean? It's nice. Yeah. Thank you, Kiwi. Made me think Moo can look at two different things like chameleon eyes. Not drooling. How old you are? I am over 500 years old. You're very cute. Thank you, Anderson. Thank you. Archaeopteryx. Archaeopteryx. Yes, that's what it is. I will never remember that. And there's no embarrassing birthday song that gets sung 20 enthusiastic restaurant orchards. Until you hate this. The chocobo? It's a chocobo. You know what? Pause. You are so right. It's a chocobo. 500 years young. Yes. You're right. 500 years young. That's good enough answer. Microraptor, one of the first ever to be confirmed, its feather colors being all black with an iridescent sheen to them the size of a crow. Maybe that's why I've always liked crows. Old monster women anyways. Have a good lurk. Hello! Hello! Hello, hello! Have a good lurk. Enjoy your day. Chase Knowles, thank you for the follow. Okay, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and get back into the book. So feel free to keep talking if you'd like to, but like I said, I will not be able to look at chat while I read, because the point of tonight is to read the book. And this is an interesting one. This is one that you guys picked. Hi, Fred! This is the book that you guys picked in my Discord. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get back into reading some Frankenstein. Book-kun is precious. Isn't it a cute book? It's very pretty. Here. Let me let me show off Book-kun a bit so you guys can see them. Look. It's very pretty. Isn't it? We like Book-kun. And this is me. And my thighs. But this is me. Okay. Back into the book. Letter 4. To Miss Saville of England. August 5th, 17... So strange an accident has happened to us that I cannot forbear recording it, although it is very probable that you will see me before these papers can come into your possession. Last Monday, July 31st, we were nearly surrounded by ice which closed in the ship on all sides, scarcely leaving her the sea room in which she floated. Our situation was somewhat dangerous, especially as we were compassed around by a very thick fog. We accordingly lay to, hoping that some change would take place in the atmosphere and weather. About 2 o'clock, the mist cleared away, and we beheld, stretched out in every direction, vast and irregular plains of ice, which seemed to have no end. Some of my comrades groaned, and my own mind began to grow watchful with anxious thoughts, when a strange sight suddenly attracted our attention and diverted our solicitude from the own situation. We perceived a low carriage fixed on a sledge and drawn by dogs passed on towards the north, at the distance of half a mile. A being which had the shape of a man but apparently of gigantic stature, in the sledge and guided the dogs. We watched the rapid progress of the traveler with our telescopes until he was lost amongst the distant inequalities of the ice. This appearance excited our unqualified wonder. We were, as we believed, many 100 miles from any land, but this apparition seemed to denote that it was not, in reality, so distant as we supposed. Shut in, however, by ice, it was impossible to follow his track, which we had observed with the greatest attention. About 2 hours after this occurrence, we had heard the ground sea, and before night the ice broke and freed our ship. We, however, laid to until the morning, fearing to encounter those large loose masses which float about after breaking up of the ice. I profited of this time to rest for a few hours. In the morning, however, as soon as it was light, I went upon deck and found all the sailors busy on one side of the vessel, apparently talking to someone in the sea. It was, in fact, a sledge, like that we had seen before, which had drifted towards us in the night on a large fragment of ice. Only one dog remained alive, but there was an animal being within it, whom the sailors were persuading to enter the vessel. He was not, as the other travelers seemed to be, a savage inhabitant of some undiscovered island, but a European. When I appeared on deck, the master said, "Here is our cabin. Here is our captain, and he will not allow you to perish on the open sea." On perceiving me, the stranger addressed me in English, although with a foreign accent. "Before I come on board your vessel," he said, "will you have the kindness to inform me whither you are bound?" You may conceive my astonishment on hearing such a question addressed to me from a man on the brink of destruction, and to whom I should have supposed that my vessel would have been a resource which he would not have exchanged for the most precious wealth the earth can afford. I replied, however, that we were somewhere on a voyage of discovery towards the northern pole, Upon hearing this, he appeared satisfied and consistent to come on board. Good God, Margaret, if you had seen the man who thus capitalized for his safety, your surprise would have been boundless. His limbs were nearly frozen, and his body dreadfully emancipated by fatigue and suffering. I never saw a man in such a wretched condition. We attempted to carry him into the cabin, but as soon as he quitted the fresh air, he fainted. We accordingly brought him back to the deck and restored him to animation by rubbing him with brandy and forcing him to swallow a small quantity. As soon as he showed signs of life, we wrapped him up in blankets and placed him near the chimney of the kitchen stove. By slow degrees he recovered and ate a little soup, which restored him wonderfully. 2 days passed in this manner before he was able to speak, and I often feared that his suffering had deprived him of understanding. When he had in some measure recovered, I removed him to my own cabin and tended him as much as my duty would permit. I never saw a more interesting creature. His eyes have generally an expression of wildness and even madness, but there are moments when, if anyone performs an act of kindness towards him or does him any of the most trifling service, his whole countenance is lightened up, as it were, with a beam of benevolence and sweetness that I never saw equaled, but he is generally melancholy and despairing, and sometimes he gnashes his teeth, as if impatient of the weight of woes that oppress him. When my guest was a little recovered, I had great trouble to keep off the men, who wished to ask him 1,000 questions, but I would not allow him to be tormented by their idle curiosities in this state of body and mind whose restoration evidently depended upon entire repose. Once, however, the lieutenant asked why he had come so far upon the ice in so strange a vehicle. His countenance instantly assumed an aspect of the deepest gloom, and he replied, "To seek one who fled from me." "And did the man who you pursued travel in the same fashion?" "Yes." "Then I fancy we have seen him, for the day before we picked you up, we saw some dogs drawing a sledge with a man in it across the ice." This aroused the stranger's attention, and he asked a multitude of questions concerning the route which the daemon, as he called him, had pursued. Soon after, when he was alone with me, he said, "I have, doubtless, excited your curiosity, as well as that of these good people, but you are too considerate to make inquiries. Certainly, I would indeed be very impertinent and human of me to trouble you with any inquisitiveness of mine. And yet, you rescued me from the strange and perilous situation. You have benevolently restored me to life." Soon after this, he inquired if I thought of the breaking up of the ice had destroyed the other sledge. I replied that I could not answer with any degree of certainty, for the ice had not broken until near midnight, and the traveler might have arrived at a place of safety before that time, but of this I could not judge. From this time, a new spirit of life animated the decaying frame of the stranger. He manifested an eagerness to be upon the deck, to watch for the sledge which had before appeared, but I have persuaded him to remain in the cabin, for he is far too weak to sustain the rawness of the atmosphere. I have promised that someone should watch him and give him instant notice if any new object should appear in sight. Such is my journal for what relates to this strange occurrence up to the present day. The stranger has gradually improved in health, but is very silent and appears uneasy when anyone except myself enters his cabin. Yet his manners are so conciliating and gentle that the sailors are all interested in him, although they have had very little communication with him. For my own part, I begin to love him as a brother, and his constant and deep grief fills me with sympathy and compassion. He must have been a noble creature in his better days, being even now in wreck so attractive and amiable. I said in one of my letters, my dear Margaret, that I should find no friend in the wide ocean, yet I have found a man who, before his spirit had been broken by misery, I should have been happy to have possessed as a brother of my heart. I shall continue my journal concerning the stranger at intervals, should I have any fresh incidences to record. August 13th, 17... My affection for this guest increases every day. He excites at once my admiration and my pity in an astonishing degree. How can I see so noble a creature destroyed by misery without feeling the most poignant grief? He is so gentle, yet so wise. His mind is so cultivated. And when he speaks, although his words are cold and the choicest art, yet they flow with a rapidity and unparalleled eloquence. He is now much recovered from his illness and is continually on the deck, apparently watching for the sledge that preceded his own. Yet, although unhappy, he is not so utterly occupied by his own misery that he has interested himself deeply on the projects of others. He has frequently conversed with me on mine, which I have communicated to him without disguise. He entered attentively to all my arguments in favor of my eventual success, and into every minute detail of the measures I had taken to secure it. I was easily led by the sympathy for which he evinced, to use the language of my heart, to give utterances to the burning ardor of my soul, and to say, with all the fervor that warmed me, how gladly I would sacrifice my fortune, my existence, my every hope to the furtherance of my enterprise. One man's life or death were but all a small price to pay for the acquirement of the knowledge which I sought, for the dominion I should acquire and transmit over the elemental foes of our race. As I spoke, a dark gloom spread over my listener's countenance. At first, I perceived that he tried to suppress his emotions. He placed his hands before his eyes, and my voice quivered and failed me as I beheld tears trickle fast from between his fingers. A groan burst from his heaving breast. I paused. At length he spoke in broken accents. "Unhappy man, do you share my madness? Have you drunk also of the intoxicating draught? Hear me. Let me reveal my tale, and you will dash the cup from your lips." Such words, you may imagine, strongly excited my curiosity, but the paroxysm of grief that had seized the stranger overcame his weakened powers, and many hours of repose and tranquil conversation were necessary to restore his composure. Having conquered the violence of his feelings, he appeared to despise himself for being the slave of passion and quelling the dark tyranny of despair. He led me again to converse concerning myself personally. He asked me the history of my earlier years. The tale was quickly told, but in awkward, various trains of reflection. I spoke of my desire of finding a friend, of my thirst for a more intimate sympathy with the fellow mind that had ever fallen to my lot, and expressed my conviction that a man could boast of little happiness who did not enjoy his blessing. "I agree with you," replied the stranger. "We are unfashioned creatures, but half made up, if one wiser, better, dearer than ourselves. Such a friend ought to be. Do not lend his aid to perfectionate our weak and faulty natures. I once had a friend, the most noble of human creatures, and I'm entitled, therefore, to judge respecting friendship. You have hope and the world before you, and have no cause for despair, but I have lost everything and cannot begin life anew." As he said this, his countenance became expressive of a calm, settled grief that touched me to the heart. But he was silent and presently retired to his cabin. Even broken in spirit as he is, no one can feel more deeply than he does the beauties of nature. The starry sky, the sea, and every sight afforded by these wonderful regions seems still to have the power of elevating his soul from earth. Such a man has a double existence. He may suffer misery and be overwhelmed by disappointment, yet when he has retired into himself, he will be like a celestial spirit that has a halo around him. Within those circle no grief or folly ventures. Will you smile at the enthusiasm I express concerning this divine wanderer? You would not if you saw him. You have been tutored and refined by books and refinement of the world, and you are therefore somewhat fastidious. But this only renders you the more fit to appreciate the extraordinary merits of this wonderful man. Sometimes I have endeavored to discover what quality it is which he possesses that elevates him so immeasurably above any other person I ever knew. I believe it to be an intuitive discernment, a quick but never failing power of judgment, a penetration into the cause of things, unequaled for clearness, precision, and to this faculty of expression, and a voice whose varied intonations are soul-subdued music. August 19th, 17... let me do this really quick. Da, 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 da. There we go, much better. I think I lowered that too much. There we go. Much better. Hi, Kono! I didn't take it away, I turned it off when we did a collab and I tried to turn it back on, but it's not working, so I have to basically like redo it and I forgot about that. Julian Classic, thank you for the follow, by the way. Page 67, just kidding, I have no idea. Good night, Saber. Gonna go to bed, have a good rest, get some good sleep. Zero Fire, thank you for the follow. Okay. August 19th, 17th. Yesterday, the stranger said to me, "You may easily preserve, Captain Walton, that I have suffered great and unparalleled misfortunes. I had determined at one time that the memory of these evils should die with me, but you will have won me to alter my determination. You seek for knowledge and wisdom, as I once did, and I ardently hope that the gratification of your wishes may not be a serpent to sting you, as mine has been. I do not know what the revelation of my disasters will be useful to you, yet when I reflect that you are pursuing the same course, exposing yourself to the same dangers which have rendered me what I am, I imagine that you may deduce an apt moral from my tale, one that will direct you if you succeed in your undertaking, and console yourself in a case of failure. Prepare to hear of occurrences which are usually deemed marvelous. We are among the tamer scenes of nature. I might fear to encounter your unbelief, perhaps your ridicule, but many things will appear possible in these wild and mysterious regions which would provoke the laughter of those unacquainted with the ever-varied powers of nature. Nor can I doubt that my tale conveys in its series internal evidence of the truth of the events of which it is composed. You may easily imagine that I was much gratified by the offered communication, yet I could not endure that he should renew his grief by recital of his misfortunes. Oh, I felt the greatest eagerness to hear the promised narrative, partially from curiosity and partially from a strong desire to ameliorate his fate if it were in my power. What is that word? To make bad or unpleasant situation better. Okay. I expressed these feelings in my answer. "I thank you," he replied, "for your sympathy, but it is useless. My fate is nearly fulfilled. I wait but for one event, and then I shall be repose in peace. I understand your feeling," continued he. Perceived that I wished to interrupt him. "But you are mistaken, my friend. If thus you will allow me to name you, nothing can alter my destiny. Listen to my history, and you will perceive how irrevocably it is determined." He then told me that he would commence his narrative the next day. Then I should be at leisure. His promise drew from me the warmest thanks. I have resolved every night, when I am not imperatively occupied by my duties, to record as nearly as possible in his own words what he has related during the day. If I should be engaged, I will at least make notes. This manuscript will doubtless afford you the greatest pleasure, but to me, who knows him, and who bears it from his own lips, with what interest and sympathy shall I read it in some future day? Even now, as I commence my task, His full-toned voice swells in my ears. His lustrous eye dwells on me with all their melancholy sweetness. I see his thin hand raised in animation, while the lineaments of his face are irradiated by the soul within. Strange and harrowing must be his story, frightful the storm which embraced the gallant vessel on its course and wrecked it thus. Alright. Hi, Charcoal. Hi, Cuts. Welcome in, Cut. Is it so I can have volume? You're good. You're good, Charcoal. You're okay. Alright. We are now starting Chapter 1. It just says Chapter 1. So I love it when like writers name the book or name the chapters, but I also think it's funny when they're just like, so what are you reading? Chapter 1? Okay. Makes it easy for me. Alright. Chapter 1. I am by birth a Genovese, and my family is one of the most distinguished of that republic. My ancestors had been for many years counselors and syndics, and my father had fulfilled several public situations with honor and reputation. He was respected by all who knew him for his integrity and indefatigable attention to public business. He passed his younger days perpetually occupied by the affairs of his country. A variety of circumstances had prevented his marrying early, nor was it until the decline of life that he became a husband and the father of a family. As the circumstances of his marriage illustrated his character, I cannot refrain from relating them. One of his most intimate friends was a merchant who, from a flourishing state, fell, though numerous mischances, into poverty. This man, whose name was Beaufort, was of a proud and unbending disposition, and could not bear to live in poverty and oblivion in the same country where he had formerly been distinguished for his rank and magnificence. Having paid his debts, therefore, in the most honorable manner, he retreated with his daughter to the town of Lucrine, where he lived unknown and in wretchedness. My father loved Beaufort with the truest friendship and was deeply grieved by his retreat in these unfortunate circumstances. He bitterly deplored the false pride which led his friend to a conduct so little worthy of the affection that united them. He lost no time in endeavoring to seek him out with the hope of persuading him to begin the world again through his credit and assistance. Beaufort had taken effectual measures to conceal himself, and it was 10 months before my father discovered his abode. Overjoyed at this discovery, he hastened to the house, which is situated in a mean street near the Res. But when he entered, misery and despair alone welcomed him. Beaufort had saved but a very small sum of money from a wreck of his fortunes, but it was sufficient to provide him with sustenance for some months. But in the meantime, he hoped to procure some respectable employment in a merchant house. The interval was, consequently, spent in inaction. His grief only became more deep and rankling when he had leisure for reflection, and at length it took so fast hold of his mind at the end of these 3 months he lay on a bed of sickness, incapable of any exertion. His daughter attended him with the greatest tenderness, but she saw with despair that their little fund was rapidly decreasing, and that there was no other prospect of support. But Caroline Beaufort possessed a mind of uncommon mould, and her courage rose to support her in adversity. She procured plain work. She plaited straw and by various means contrived to earn a pittance scarcely sufficient to support life. Several months passed in this manner. Her father grew worse. Her time was more entirely occupied in attending him. Her means of subsistence decreased, and in the 10th month her father died in her arms, leaving her an orphan and a beggar. This last blow overcame her, and she knelt by Beaufort's coffin, weeping bitterly, when my father entered the chamber. He came like a protecting spirit to the poor girl who committed herself to his care, and after the interment of his friend, he conducted her to Geneva and placed her under the protection of a relation. 2 years after this event, Caroline became his wife. There was a considerable difference between the ages of my parents, but this circumstance seemed to unite them only closer in bonds of devoted affection. There was a sense of justice in my father's upright mind which rendered it necessary that he should approve highly to love strongly. Perhaps during former years he had suffered from the late discovered worthiness of one beloved, and so was disposed to get a greater value on tried worth. There was a show of gratitude and worship in his attachment to my mother, differing wholly from the doting fondness of age, for it was inspired by reverence for her virtues and a desire to be the means of, in some degree, recompensing her for the sorrows she had endured, but which gave inexpressible grace to his behavior to her. Everything was made to yield to her wishes and her convenience. He strove to shelter her, as a fair exotic is sheltered by the gardener, from every rougher wind, and to surround her with all that he could tend to excite pleasurable emotion in her soft and benevolent mind. Her health, and even the tranquillity of her hitherto constant spirit, had been shaken by what she had gone through. During the 2 years that had elapsed previous in their marriage, my father had gradually relinquished all his public functions, and immediately after their union they sought the pleasant climate of Italy, and the change of scene and interest attendant on a tour through that land of wonders, in a restorative for her weakened frame. From Italy they visited Germany and France. I, their eldest child, was born of Naples. As an infant accompanied them in their rambles. I remained for several years their only child. Much as they were attached to each other, they seemed to draw inexhaustible stores of affection from a very mine of love to bestow them upon me. My mother's tender caresses and my father's smile of benevolent pleasure, while regarding me as their first recollections. I was their plaything and their idol, and something better, their child, the innocent and helpless creature bestowed on them by heaven, whom to bring up to good, and whose future lot it was in their hands to direct to happiness or misery, according as they fulfilled their duties towards me. With this deep consciousness of what they owed towards the being to which they had given life, added to the active spirit of tenderness that animated both, it may be imagined that while during every hour of my infant life I received a lesson of patience, of charity, and of self-control, I was so guided by a silken cord that all seemed but one train of enjoyment to me. For a long time I was their only care. My mother had much desire to have a daughter, but I continued their single offspring. When I was about 5 years old, while making an excursion beyond the frontiers of Italy, they passed a week on the shores of Lake Como. Their benevolent disposition often made them the cottages of the poor. This, to my mother, was more than a duty. It was a necessity, a passion, remembering what she had suffered and how she had been relieved, for her to act in her turn the guardian angel to the afflicted. During one of their walks, a poor cot in the foldings of a veil attracted her notice, and being singularly disconsolate, while the number of half-clothed children gathered about it spoke of penury in its worst shape. One day, when my father had gone himself to Milan, my mother, accompanied by me, visited this abode. She found a peasant and his wife, hard-working, bent down by care and labor, distributing a scanty meal to 5 hungry babes. Among these, there was one which attracted my mother far above all the rest. She appeared of a different stock. The 4 others were dark-eyed, hardy little vagrants. This child was thin and very fair. Her hair was the brightest living gold, and despite the poverty of her clothing, seemed to set a crown of distinction on her head. Her brow was clear and ample, her eyes cloudless, her lips and the moulding of her face so expressive of sensibility and sweetness that none could behold her without looking on her as if distinct species, a being heaven-sent and bearing a celestial stamp on all her features. The peasant woman, perceiving that my mother fixed eyes of wonder and admiration on this lovely girl, eagerly communicated her history. She was not her child, but the daughter of a Milanese noblewoman. Her mother was a German and had died on giving her birth. The infant had been placed in these good people to nurse. They were better off then. They had not been long married, and their eldest child was yet just born. The father of their charge was one of those Italian nurses in the memory of the antique glory of Italy, one among the Chevai Ognor Frementi, who exerted himself to obtain the liberty of his country. He became the victim of its weakness. Whether he had died or still lingered in the dungeons of Austria was not known. His property was confiscated. His child became an orphan and a beggar. She continued with her foster parents and bloomed in their rude abode, fairer than a garden rose among a dark-leaved brambles. When my father returned from Milan, he found playing with me in the hall of our villa a child fairer than pictured cherub, a creature who seemed to shed radiance from her looks and whose form and motions were lighter than the chamois of the hills. I swear to you guys, it says chamois of the hills. The apparition was soon explained. With his permission, my mother prevailed on her rustic guardians to yield their charge to her. They were fond of the sweet orphan. Her presence seemed a blessing to them, but it would be unfair to her to keep her in poverty and want when Providence afforded her such powerful protection. They consulted their village priest, and the result was that Elizabeth Lavenza became the inmate of my parents' house. My more than sister, the beautiful and adored companion of all my occupations and my pleasures. Everyone loved Elizabeth. The passion and almost reverential attachment with which all regarded her became, while I shared it, my pride and my delight. On the evening previous to her being brought to my home, my mother said playfully, "I have a pretty present for my Victor. Tomorrow he shall have it." And when, on the morrow, she presented Elizabeth to me as her promised gift, I, with child seriousness, interpreted her words literally and looked upon Elizabeth as mine. Mine to protect, to love, and cherish. All praises bestowed upon her I received as made to a possession of my own. We called each other familiarly in the name of cousin. No word, no expression could body forth the kind of revelation in which she stood to me, my more than sister. Since death she was to be only. Since till death she was to be mine only. Oh, now we're on chapter 2. I'm dumb. I should have typed in 1 too, but we're on 1. Schnapple. Oh, HK 450 5 stream streak. Okay. Oh my god, that scared me. That scared me. I was like, we have not been streaming for 450 days. That scared me. Hi HK, how are you? Hi, no one coming. Welcome in, welcome in. How are you? Envo, thank you for the head pat. I would honestly fair. Take care. Good night, Envo. Mwah. Rest well. Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and actually take my break just a little bit early. And I know it says we have 10 more minutes until the break, but would require free sub for life or something. Honestly, I don't know if there's a way to do that. If there is, that'd be crazy. But really quick, guys. Let me just make sure I don't owe any other redeems. Just making sure before I take my sloth. Thank you, sloth. Gabe, hi Gabe. Thank you for the follow. Welcome in, welcome in. How are you? Wonder I didn't hear my alerts anymore. Hi Jack. Welcome in, welcome in. How are you? I was about to actually take a quick break, Jack. I really need to go refresh my water. And when I come back, we'll get back into the book. And those of you who are over on Twitch, here is the link to the book if you'd like to join us. And if you are on YouTube, here is the link to the book. There you go. We are on we're going to be starting chapter 2 when I come back from the break. Doing good. Just about to head to bed until I saw the stream. Get cozy. We are about to take a break, Gabe. I'm going to go refresh my water. And when we come back, we'll we'll come back and start chapter 2 of the book. So if you want to get nice and cozy and comfortable and lurk and just listen so you can drift off peacefully, that's okay with me. I'll be right back. Okay, and we are back. Welcome back, everybody. Hopefully you had a nice little break. Stood up, got yourself a drink, and got comfortable. Hi to you. Welcome back. Hi, Coqueta. Welcome in. Welcome back, and welcome back, Jack. Hi, Tav. Hi, Valonia. Cry. Don't, no, cry. No, no more cry. Not allowed. Not allowed. No more tears. No more tears. Oh my goodness. We're gonna do one more chapter. And then I'm gonna go ahead and call it a little early tonight. I am mentally exhausted. I am so tired. After last week and after today. Today was just a really crazy busy day. Lenore! Hi, Lenore. Welcome in, lovely. How are you? Sleepy, sleepy. It's true. I'm big, sleepy, eepy, honk snooze. I had a really long day. I feel like I had a really long day anyways. Scene. Sisney? Is that how you say your name? Sisney? Welcome in. And Chavis? Avis. 991. Welcome in. Happy to catch a stream. Thank you for joining. Thank you so much. I'm glad you're able to join, especially on ASMR night, on ASMR reading night. Let me give you a quick shout out. I actually really like going to hang out in your channel. You are not live when I'm ending. Like 90% of the time, Lenore, I'm just like, gosh, one of these days, dang it. Let me give you a quick shout out, guys. Make sure you go give them a follow. They're wonderful and beautiful and lovely. Alpine Saint Tiger, welcome in. Thank you for the follow. How are you? I added a little bit of lemon into my water. I really needed it. Time zones are the worst. They are. And do we get the lullaby tonight? We can, Jack, because we did reach today's sub goal at the... I know it says 25, but it's not 25. I don't know why it says 25. It does this every time. We are actually at 15. We should be at 15. Where is it? But I will do a lullaby at the end of tonight. Just make sure if somebody can do me the biggest favor ever in the world of favors. Before we end tonight, can somebody, like, just remind me? Why is that not refreshing? Refresh, damn you. What if I did that? Oh. That doesn't even make it go, because I'm looking at the wrong one. That's why. That's why. Why is it? Are we really at... There we go. We're at 16. Okay, that makes more sense. That makes more sense. So yeah, at the end of tonight, remind me to do the lullaby. If you guys let me go without doing it, I will forget. I am so forgetful that I will literally forget. But thank you so much, Valonia. Lenore, enjoy this emotes. You now have the all-powerful Mighty Chancleta. Use it wisely. It comes with +5 spicy damage, so don't use it unless you really mean to, okay? It is a weapon of mass destruction. Many of Kokoro have been banished because of the Mighty Chancla, so be careful, okay? I entrust this weapon into your hands, Lenore. But yeah, remind me, Michael. If you don't remind me, I will be upset. I will cry, and Jack will blame me until the tides turn purple. as they don't. Okay, let's get back into the book. I couldn't help it. Let's get back into the book. We are on chapter 2. Again, if you guys would like to join us, here is the link for the book. We are on chapter 2 of Frankenstein. Frankenstein. Anyways, chapter 2. We were brought up together. There was not quite. I'll probably be KO before you do like yesterday. Well, it'll be on the VOD, Jack. So that'll work out okay. If you still want to listen, you can watch the VOD. We were brought up together. There was not quite a year difference in our ages. I need not say that we were strangers to any species of disunion or dispute. Harmony was the soul of our companionship, and the diversity of contrast that subsidized in our characters drew us near together. Elizabeth was of a calmer and more concentrated disposition, but with all my ardor I was capable of a more intense application and was deeply smitten with the thirst for knowledge. She busied herself with following the aerial creations of the poets, and in the majestic and wondrous scenes which surrounded our Swiss home, the sublime shapes of the mountains, the changes of the seasons, tempest and calm, the silence of winter, and the life and turbulence of our alpine summers, she found ample scope of admiration and delight. While my companion contemplated with a serious and satisfied spirit the magnificent appearance of things, I delighted in investigating their causes. The world was to me a secret which I desired to divine. Curiosity, earnest research to learn the hidden laws of nature, the gladness akin to rapture as they were unfolded to me, are among the earliest sensations I can remember. On the birth of a second son, my junior by 7 years, my parents gave up entirely their wandering life and fixed themselves in their native country. We possessed a house in Geneva and a campaign on Bellerive, the eastern shore of the lake. And a campaign on Bellerive, the eastern shore of the lake, at the distance of rather more than a league from the city. We resided principally in the later, and the lives of my parents were passed in considerable seclusion. It was my temper to avoid a crowd and to attach myself fervently to a few. I was indifferent, therefore, to my schoolfellows in general, but I unified myself with the bonds of a close friendship to one among them. Henry Clerval was the son of a merchant of Geneva. He was a boy of singular talent and fancy. He loved enterprises, hardship, and even danger for his own sake. He was deeply read in books of chivalry and romance. He composed heroic songs and began to write many a tale of enchantment and knightly adventure. He tried to make us act plays and to enter into masquerades, in which the characters were drawn from the heroes of Roncesvalles, of the Round Table of King Arthur, and the chivalrous train who shed their blood to redeem the holy sepulchre from the hands of the infidels. No human being could have passed a happier childhood than myself. My parents were possessed by a very spirit of kindness and indulgence. We felt that they were not the tyrants to rule our lots according to their caprice, but the agents and creators of all the many delights which we enjoyed. When I mingled with other families, I distinctly discerned how peculiarly, that's such a hard word for me, peculiarly fortunate my lot was, and gratitude assisted the development of filial love. My temper was sometimes violent and my passions vehement, but by some law in my treatment they were turned not towards childish pursuits, but to an eager desire to learn, and not to learn all things indiscriminately, I confess that neither the structure of languages or the code of government or the politics of various states possessed attractions for me. It was the secrets of heaven and earth that I desired to learn, and whether it was the outward substance of things or the inner spirit of nature and the mysterious soul of man that occupied me. Still, my inquiries were directed to the metaphysical, or, in its highest sense, the physical secrets of the world. Meanwhile, Clerval occupied himself, so to speak, with the moral relations of things. The busy stage of life, the virtues of heroes, and the actions of men were his theme, and his hope and his dream was to become one among those names are recorded in the history of the gallant and adventurous benefactors of our species. The saintly soul of Elizabeth shone like a shrine-dedicated lamp in our peaceful home. Her sympathy was ours, her smile, her soft voice, the sweet glance of her celestial eyes. Wherever they're to bless and animate us, there. She was the living spirit of love to soften and attract. I might have become sullen in my study, rough through the ardor of my nature, but that she was there to subdue me to a semblance of her own gentleness. And Clerval could aught ill trench the noble spirit of Clerval, yet he might not have been so perfectly humane, so thoughtful in his generosity, so full of kindness and tenderness amidst his passions for adventurous exploit, had she not unfolded to him the real loveliness of benevolence, and made the doing good at the end the aim of his soaring ambition. I feel exquisite pleasure in dwelling on the recollections of childhood, before misfortune had tainted my mind and changed its bright visions of extensive usefulness into gloomy and narrow reflections upon oneself. Besides, in drawing the picture of my early days, I also recorded those events which led, by insensible steps, to my aftertale of misery. For when I would account to myself for the birth of that person which afterwards ruled my destiny, I find it to rise, like a mountain river, of ignoble and almost forgotten sources, but, swelling as it proceeds, it became the torrent which, in its course, had swept away all my hopes and joy. Natural philosophy is the genius that has regulated my fate. I desire, therefore, in this narration to state those facts which led to my predilection for that science. When I was 13 years of age, we all went on a party of pleasure to the baths near Thonon. The inclemency of the weather obliged us to remain a day confined to the inn. In this house I chanced to find a volume of the works of Cornelius Agrippa. I opened it with apathy. The theory which he attempted to demonstrate and the wonderful facts which he relates soon changed this feeling into enthusiasm. A new light seemed to draw upon my mind. Bounding with joy, I communicated my discovery to my father. My father looked carelessly at the little page of my book and said, "Ah, Cornelius Agrippa, my dear Victor, do not waste your time upon this. It is sad trash." If, instead of this remark, my father had taken the pains to explain to me that the principles of Agrippa had been entirely exploded and that the modern system of science had been introduced, which possessed much greater powers than the ancient, because the powers of the later were chemical, while those of the former were real and practical. Under such circumstances I should have certainly thrown Agrippa aside and have contented my imagination, warmed as it was by returning to great ardor to my former studies. It is even possible that the train of my ideas would never have received the fatal impulse that led to my ruin. But the curiosity glance my father had taken of my volume by no means assured me that he was acquainted with its contents, and I continued to read with the greatest avidity. Have a good night, cool. Good rest. The book is alive. It's alive! When I returned home, my first care was to procure the whole works of this author, and afterwards, Paracelsus and Albertus Magnus. I read and studied the wild fancies of these writers with delight. They appeared to me treasures known to few besides myself. I have described myself, as always, having been imbued with the fervent longing to penetrate the secrets of nature. In spite of these intense labor and wonderful discoveries of modern philosophers, I always came from my studies discontented and unsatisfied. Sir Isaac Newton is said to have avowed that he felt like a child picking up shells beside the great and unexplored ocean of truth. Those of his successors in each branch of natural philosophy with whom I was acquainted appeared even to my boy's apprehension as tyros engaged in some pursuit. The untaught peasant beheld the elements around him and was acquainted with their practical uses. The most learned philosopher knew little more. He had partially unveiled the face of nature, but her immoral lineaments were still a wonder and a mystery. He might dissect, anatomize, and give names, but not to speak of a final cause. Causes in their secondary and tertiary grades, that's such a weird word. Tertiary grades were utterly unknown to him. I had gazed upon the fortifications and impediments that seemed to keep human beings from entering the citadel of nature, and rashly and ignorantly I had repined. But here were books, and here were men who had penetrated deeper than knew more. I took their work for all that they averred, and I became their disciple. It may appear strange that such should arise the 18th century, but while I followed the routine of education in the schools of Geneva, I was, to a great degree, self-taught with regard to my favorite studies. My father was not a scientific, and I was left to struggle with a child's blindness added to a student's thirst for knowledge. Under the guidance of my new preceptors, I entered with the greatest diligence into the search of the philosopher's stone and the elixir of life, but the latter soon obtained my undivided attention. Wealth was an inferior object, but what glory would attain the discovery if I could banish disease from the human frame and render man invulnerable to any but a violent death? Nor were these my only visions. The raisings of ghosts or devils was a promise liberally accorded to my favorite authors, the fulfillment of which I most eagerly sought, and if my incantations were always unsuccessful, I attributed the failure rather to my own inexperience and mistake than to a want of skill or fidelity in my instructors. And thus, for a time, I was occupied by exploded systems, mingling like an unadept 1,000 contradictory theories and floundering desperately in a very sloth of multifarious knowledge, guided by an ardent imagination and childish reasoning, till an accented again changed the current of my ideas. Till an accident again changed the current of my ideas. When I was about 15 years old, we had retired to our house near Bariv, when we witnessed a most violent and terrible thunderstorm. It advanced from behind the mountains of Jura, and the thunder burst at once with frightful loudness from various quarters of the heavens. I remained, while the storm lasted, watching its progress with curiosity and delight. As I stood at the door, on a sudden I beheld a stream of fire issue from an old and beautiful oak which stood about 20 yards from our house. and so soon as the dazzling light vanished, the oak had disappeared, and nothing remained but a blasted stump. When we visited it the next morning, we found the tree shattered in a singular manner. It was not splintered by the shock, but entirely reduced to thin ribbons of wood. I never beheld anything so utterly destroyed. But this, I was not unacquainted with the more obvious laws of electricity. On this occasion, a man of great research and natural philosophy was with us, and excited by this catastrophe, he entered on an explanation of theory which he had formed on the subject of electricity and galvanism, which was at once new and astonishing to me. All that he said threw greatly into the shade Cornelius Agrippa, Albert Magnus, and Paracelsus, the lords of my imagination, but by some fatality the overthrow of these men disinclined me to pursue my accustomed studies. It seemed to me as if nothing would or could ever be known. All that had so long engaged my attention suddenly grew despicable by one of those caprices of the mind which we are perhaps most subject to in early youth. I at once gave up my former occupations, set down natural history and all its progeny as a deformed and abortive creation, and entertained the greatest disdain for a would-be science, which could never even step within the threshold of real knowledge. In this mood of mind, I betook myself the mathematics and the branches of study appertaining to that science, as being upon secure foundations, and so worthy of my consideration. Thus strangely are our souls constructed, and by such slight ligaments we are bound to prosperity or ruin. When I look back, it seems to me as if that most miraculous change of inclination and will was the immediate suggestion of the guardian angel of my life, the last effort made by the spirit of preservation to avert the storm that was even then hanging in the stars and ready to envelop me. Her victory was announced by an unusual tranquility and gladness of soul which followed the relinquishing of my ancient and latterly tormenting studies. It was thus that I was to be taught to associate evil with their prosecution, happiness with their disregard. It was a strong effort of the spirit of good, but it was ineffectual. Destiny was too potent, and her immutable laws had decreed my utter and terrible destruction. Hi, Cooper. Thank you so much for the gifted subs. Thank you for the 5 gifted subs over to Lily Shadows, The Real Kakashi, Wandering Sumner, Selvin, and Draco. Thank you, Cooper. How are you? How's your night? I'm gonna bite you. Just you wait. Forte! Welcome in, Forte. How are you? Thank you so much for the follow. Thank you, Cooper. Thank you. Oh, I'm good. Hi, Forte. Welcome in. Hi, Dry Dog. Oh, wait. Unless you mean Forte. Do you know Forte? My nose itches. Okay, that is the end of chapter 3. Oh my goodness. Probably, okay. Oh, yes, I saw that. Alright. The nose, yeah. I did a little scritchy scritch. Little stretchy stretch too. I needed that. Ugh. Oof. Oh, goodness. Alright. We are gonna end the book here for the night. We're not gonna end just yet. We're just gonna end the book for the night there. I told you guys that I would do another lullaby before we end for the night. I fell asleep on the few minutes waiting on stream. What a long day. Oh, honestly, Dry Dock, it has been. a long day for me as well. So that's why I'm thinking we'll end at the half-hour mark. So that means that gives me enough time to do a lullaby for you guys for tonight. Let me go ahead and put the book away. Yum, 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 yum. Oh, did not mean to do that. Certainly jump scare. Okay. Thank you for. Oh, I still need to do my TCG for the day. Yum, 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 yum. There was a boy, a very strange, enchanted boy. It makes me think of the Numa Numa cat. But let me put the book away. We are on chapter 3. Yes, we are. Perfect. Alright. Let me get a song for tonight to sing. A very strange, enchanted boy. Da 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 da. This he said to me, the greatest thing that you will learn is just to love. I remembered that I reminded you, so that reminded me. Does that make sense? Okay. There is a song that I think you guys would really like. I just need the lyrics. Okay. There it is. I'm not going to do the whole thing because I'm actually like really, really tired. So, but I will do enough of it for you guys. Let me go ahead and lower this. Just put that all the way down to 0, just to be on the safe side. Alright. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. Thank you so much as well for the gifted subs, for the resubs, for the new subs, for the bits, for the raids. Thank you everybody for your support tonight. The evening breeze caressed the trees tenderly. The trembling trees embraced the breeze. I started way too low. I have to do it again. I'm so sorry. I was like, that's really low. That's really, really low. One more time, one more time, one more time, one more time, one more time. The evening breeze caressed the trees tenderly. The trembling trees embrace the breeze tenderly. Then you and I came wandering by and lost in the sigh were we. The shore was kissed by sea and mist. can't forget how two hearts met breathlessly. Your arms open wide and took me inside. You took my lips, you took my love so tenderly. Hi, Jarko. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Thank you so much for the raid. Okay, I will do one more. One more song. Only because you raided into me basically saying goodnight to chat. How are you? I'm good. I'm tired. I'm tired. My mental is... It's good. My mental is good. But I'm just drained. I'm just so drained. Amazing timing. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Charco. Welcome on in, Raiders from Charco. I am Mukya. I'm a siren with a necrotic affliction, and I run the cafe. If you guys would like a drink, we could do tea, boba, coffee, hot cocoa. However, the cake is extra. But the songs come with each cake, so. I do have a vacation coming up in August. That's just a month and a half away. Okay, well, of course. Jarko, if you need to get nice and cozy and comfortable, you're more than welcome to. But if you need to raid and run, I understand as well. Huge. Well, okay, I say vacation, but I'm actually going to my cousin's wedding. So it's vacation adjacent. It's more so I'm going to an event in another state than it is like a vacation, you know what I mean? And I love my family, but they stress me out. I love them, but they stress me out. So, one last song for the road. Do you guys want... Let me see. Go back here. I'll give you guys an option. I'll give you guys a choice. How about that? I'll give you guys a choice. And do you want BioShock or Pure Imagination? Those are the two songs. BioShock or Pure Imagination? Yes, I hear it's so comfy. Okay. Delete your browser history. Thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Pure Imagination? Okay. Okay, I said Pure Imagination, but my brain was actually thinking I Can Go the Distance. So are you guys okay with I Can Go the Distance? That's actually what my brain was thinking of when I said that. That was my bad. Sounds good. Okay. All right. I have often dreamed of a far-off place where a great warm welcome will be waiting for me, where the crowds will cheer when they see my face, and a voice keeps saying, "This is where I'm meant to be." I will find my way. I can go the distance. I'll be there someday. If I can be strong, I know every mile will be worth my while. I would go most anywhere to feel like I belong. Okay, there you go. Good song choice. Yeah, I like that one. Sun God. Hi, Sun God. Welcome in. Thank you so much for coming in and saying hi. I get new PC next week. That's exciting. That's exciting. Okay, guys. Let us find somebody to read into. Erion, thank you for the follow. Welcome, cutie. How are you? We're actually getting ready to raid on out over to somebody. Let's see who is live and what are they doing. From Poopy Laptop to 580, 5080, 64 gig. It's gonna make a difference. That's awesome. Congratulations, Charcoal. Really enough the heat wave is supposed to come to our area. Were you able to get some good rest, Vera? I hope so. I hope you're able to get some good sleep, some good rest. Okay. Let's see, who have we not raided into? Is Christina about? Doesn't look like it. What about Princess? No. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Is that sister? Hold on. Oh, she's not on right now. Okay, I think we're gonna go right into Mew. Mew is doing some ASMR right now. So here is the link in case you guys get left behind. Wait, hold on. Let me just make sure they're not ending. Okay, I don't think they are. Good, good, good. We're gonna go right on into Mew. Mew is doing some ASMR right now. They look really cute. Smooth sailing. Thank you guys for joining. I will be going live again Friday for some not ASMR, sorry, for some video games. Penrose Prime. Thank you, thank you. I actually had this, before we go, I had this idea where I want to do 1 hour streams on Wednesday, Thursdays, early morning over early morning as in like I start at like 2 a.m. and just do an hour just to like talk and stuff like that. So I was thinking of doing that on Wednesday, Thursdays after August. So I'll be starting to do that on, what's the word I'm thinking of? On in September. So make sure you guys are following my YouTube or my ASMR as well. And here's all my socials if you guys would like to follow my socials. I have an X, I have a Patreon for spicy content, I have a Blue Sky, I have a YouTube for ASMR as well as for my VODs. If you guys want to follow anything, like I said, make sure you guys are following my YouTube. because those streams are only going to be put to YouTube. If you guys want to follow along on the raid, go ahead and use that first one. That is for subscribers. Otherwise, use the second one. If you guys are on YouTube, I will have to catch you guys next time. See you guys.